Turn the volume down. Hello, hello, hello. We should be going live. Are we live yet? I think we're live. All right. Mute that. Give everybody a chance to get in the chat. While we're waiting on people to join, I'm going to pull up my phone and put it on silent because it's going off. That's the first thing I'm going to do. That camera sure likes her. Every time she picks up a cup, it auto focuses on her and blurs me out because she's prettier than me. So, hey, there's Dimsy and Hollermoto. You are live. Thank you. We are live. I'll give you guys a link here in just a second. I'm going to pull up the James Pax thing, and we're going to run through that real quick on where we're at on the benefit. April's gotten some more stuff. Where's our page, babe?
Go to events. Go to events.
James Pax benefit. So she's been posting stuff. We have a Facebook page for James. Yes, she is prettier than me. That's for damn sure, Halamoto. So we have a Facebook page for the James Pax benefit event. And if anybody is interested in donating to that, there is a link in the description for the PayPal where we only lose 3%. Don't do super chats because Google takes 30% of that. We have raised, let's see here. I have the page up.
Well, we have some cash donations.
$250, and we raised $770 last month. So we've raised over $1,000 through PayPal. And then we've got cash donations and checks. And
the Midwest Drifters donated.
Yeah, the Midwest Drifters donated
$40. Wait. Yeah, $40.
And that guy we met donated. Okay. J&R Max Power Tuning donated $100 cash.
Yeah. You might go over the plan for the benefit just because.
So some updates on the benefit. We'd been working on some entertainment. We weren't sure where we were going to have that. So after the ride, there will be a silent auction. Plug Uglies is working on a custom piece of wall art that's motorcycle related. I'm not going to say what it is yet till he gets some pictures out of it. He's doing something really cool that we're going to try and do a live auction for. And we've got someone else who's talking about doing a live auction thing. Randy donated a hunting trip.
Yes, we have a hunting trip that's worth $500. We have another one that we may be getting. We have decided to keep the benefit all at the Moose Lodge in Morella. We will, after the silent auction ends at 6, we will have a live auction for a couple items. We will have hamburgers and hot dogs and chips that we're going to purchase, sell them, and anything over what we pay for that stuff we'll donate to the benefit. We are going to have the band. I'm going to pay for insurance for us to have a band and pay $75 for us to have a bartender. So we will have a bar set up there to try to keep people there and maybe get some more.
So yeah, the band is going to play for free. They're called Raven's Moon. And so they'll be playing after the auctions for free. And April's take care of the cost that we have to do with the lodge to be able to have that and have a bartender. So we'll have stuff for people to do to hang out and visit and stuff after the auctions. And, you know, a way for us to show our appreciation for their support.
We got there's a $50 that we didn't have down also from Deb, John, and her family. We did get a gift certificate for Taylor Chrysler Detail Shop worth $200 that they donated for us. Custom Dynamics donated a $100 gift card.
Yep.
Midwest Drifters, you said 40. J&R Power Max 100. We had the guy at the Licking Cruising give
John
40.
Akers, yep, 40.
Papa John's is donating some pizzas. Dairy Queen's donating some ice cream cake gift certificates. And we have an Afghan donated made by a lady that is actually not even in our local, but she has stepped up and told me I'll help you get donations. So she helped get the $50 Walmart gift card and all that. So.
And Mike Bodine had something to say to you there.
Oh, thank you, Mike.
Yeah, it's April's birthday. So
29.
29 again. That's what we've been saying all day. So I took her out for a few drinks last night on Saturday night and let her get a little bit wound up. Not too bad, but then been kind of easy day. We both had grass to mow and some things to do. And I just got done taking her to dinner and bought her foo drinks. She even made me drink foo drinks with her. It was all hers. It was not my idea. No. I just did it to go along with her because it's her birthday. And then, so yeah, that's what's been going on. I think.
James is actually, just so everybody knows, kind of up to date. He's been getting really sick. Blood count's really down. He's in the hospital right now. He had an infection. But the mom I just looked, she did just post that he is finally getting his blood count up and stuff. And if they can get him to eat and stuff the next couple of days, he'll get to come back home. But it is starting to take effect on him.
The chemo and everything. Yep.
Now we do have another, I'm going to mention this. We just did find out some people that we know locally also, they just found out their son has a rare kind of very aggressive cancer. It's in the muscle. Little boy is 9 years old. So after I get done with this benefit, I'm going to be helping
organize another one.
Helping organize. Somebody else is going to put it on, but she asked me to help her. So I'm going to be doing that too. So, but not to, overwhelm everybody with all the stuff, but I want to help kids wherever I can. So.
And James had something to say to you there.
Thank you, James.
So I'll get a link out here.
Oh, Jerry Hawkins. Thank you, Jerry.
Yep. I'll get a link out here so we can get some other people into the chat.
Right here.
Yep.
Right there.
So I'm going to put the link over in the chat. And we'll see if we can get a couple other people into the chat. We can all hang out and have a drink, visit, make fun of April for her birthday, talk about motorcycles and bullshit. One other thing I do want to make sure everybody knows while we're getting some people into the waiting room is me and April have been really busy. Saturday was a work day for us. We didn't ride this weekend. The Mid-America Freedom Rally is next weekend. It starts officially on noon on Friday. We will be there for the pre-party on Thursday night. So we've actually decided, because we're not going to get to ride much, we're going to be working most of the weekend, that we're just going to take the dual sports. So we're going to take the dual sports down in a truck.
Can I see these glasses?
These glasses?
Mm-hmm.
She wants to wear my glasses. And
these are my Chips glasses.
There you go. So we're going to take the dual sport down to the rally. So we're going to be the only probably people on dual sports at the Mid-America Freedom Rally, which is an old school biker event. But I'm thinking that might be the perfect bike for the slow ride or for the beam ride. Jordan's over here in the street. That might be the perfect bike for the slow ride or for the beam ride. Jordan's over here in the street. That might be the perfect bike for the slow ride. You got some echo, Jordan. Jordan's over here. There we go. That's a little better.
So, hold on just a second. I'm trying to get my audio set up.
Yeah, if you mute the YouTube and just use StreamYard for the audio, we won't run into the echo.
Yep.
But the Freedom Rally's coming up, so we're going to be doing that. And so we got the campgrounds laid out for the vendor spots, the RV spots, got stuff ready for the bike games, all that kind of stuff on Saturday. Correct. And we'll be posting on social media, but we'll be pretty busy. So if you comment or ask a question, just be patient. We'll get to it when we can. So what's going on, Jordan, man? What's been up?
Oh, working like you wouldn't believe, my man.
I probably would. We've been pretty busy.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. I got sweet tea this time.
I got Coke and Jim Beam.
Oh.
It is her birthday, so.
Yeah. Ever since Captain Morgan kicked my ass that night, I don't want nothing to do with alcohol.
You got your ass whipped by the captain, huh?
Yeah, he gave me a right good whipping. I didn't appreciate that much. Oh.
Anybody else wants to hop in? We've got room for more. I'm see if we can do there. We swap around. We'll make Jordan front and center. He can show off that big GS in the background and stuff. So
I will admit, Mike, I don't know if you can see all the dirt and mud on that thing, but I have not been nice to that bike the last week.
yeah, it looks like it's a little dirtier than the last time I saw it.
It's pretty nasty. I've done since our last 2 weeks ago was our last live chat, I think.
Yeah.
I've done, and normally I would ride more, but I've been so busy. But this last week and a half, I've put about 1,000 miles on it, and I would say, 500-600 of that or more has been gravel roads and trails, and I haven't washed it because why would you wash a bike like that?
Well, I mean, if you're just gonna go out and get it dirty again, then you're
Right.
You know.
But I put on a new set of tires and stuff yesterday. Friday I put new tires on it, and I went out and gave her the beans and the trails today, and just wasn't nice to it.
Well, how are the new tires?
Sticky.
Sticky. Well, that's kind of what you want.
Oh yeah, they do real well. It ain't afraid to throw a big old roost behind it, so I like them.
All right. Well, we got James is back. He said he lost his internet.
Oh, trying to position myself here. Oh.
I said we've been pretty busy with getting ready for the rally and working on this benefit, and I need to put new front brakes on my street glide, but
oh yeah,
I can still ride it, but they're close.
Brakes only slow you down.
I don't use the brakes a lot anyway. I mean, that's kind of takes the fun out of it.
Right. I guess you guys can hear me all right.
Yeah, we hear you good. Yeah, we're gonna take. We thought we'd since we ain't gonna get off the campground probably any at Buckhorn, and it always rains. We thought we'd take the dual sports. We might be the only people there that can ride our motorcycles around the rally.
Yeah.
If it gets muddy, we'll be maybe the only ones that can push a keg in the keg race anyway.
Yeah. I tried to years ago when I was on my KLR. I think it was the motorcycle dirt drags or something in Salem. And I went to go enter my bike, and I had an off-road tire on it. And he's like, dirt bikes aren't allowed. But I'm like, I'm literally a legal street bike, and they didn't let me enter. So
yeah,
I always kind of figured, I was like, eh.
Yeah, I think the dirt drags are supposed to be for like cruisers on dirt.
Right.
I know somebody who used to run them, and they always took off in second gear.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because you won't as likely to spin as easily in second gear.
Right.
They end up getting better traction, and they actually run faster times overall.
Yeah. Well, that, and I mean, if you're in first gear all the time, I mean, it's just you're just gonna be spinning anyway. So why not spin a little faster and have a little bit of extra hope behind you in second?
So, Jordan, I know you're very much into the adventure style bikes and stuff. I've been getting feedback from people that the Pan America has hit the streets. Somebody posted a picture of someone riding one and out on the streets, and the guy in Little Rock called the dealer down there, and they have one in the dealership, and they marked it up to $25,000 for that particular one. That's what they want for it. Jacking the price up over MSRP.
Yeah,
that was with no bags or nothing.
Oh my!
So, yeah, and that's a shame because I mean Harley really worked hard to get the price where it needs to be competitive with BMWs and stuff, and then dealerships are going to go jack the price up $3,000 and not make it competitive.
So, Mike, I'm sure you know I do a lot of car deal. Well, Kevin's a car dealer. New cars are so expensive right now. They are now local is a different story, but in other states, things are selling for well over sticker price. And it doesn't surprise me to hear that because I'm sure Harley's not the only one doing that.
Well, and the problem is it's not Harley, it's the dealer. Harley sets an MSRP, and like Lake of the Ozarks, the Harley dealer up there, he flat out told me, he said, if I get one, I will sell it at MSRP. If I get that $29,000 Revival limited edition, he said, I will sell it at MSRP. He says, we have an agreement here, me, the sales folks, everybody's agreed. We're going to be an MSRP dealer, no fees added. That's how we sell bikes. So they don't jack the price up on anything. There are other states I hear all the time where there's, one guy owns 2 or 3 dealerships, so he has a 500 or 600 mile radius that he kind of controls, and he runs the price up because he figures people won't go that far away to buy from somewhere else.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't surprise me. I've been looking at used bikes even, and I mean, you can't buy nothing right now. I mean, housing, car, everything is outrageous. Everything.
Yeah. We let's see here. Trying to situate where we can see a little better.
Oh.
There, that works.
Yeah,
But there's a house in the neighborhood that went up for sale, was sale pending within a couple of days. There's one over in April's neighborhood, same way, and it's a shame because people are, Harley's trying to come out with the bike to be competitive.
Yeah.
BMW specifically, and then and I guess if BMW jacks their prices up an extra $2,000 or $3,000, then that's fine. But if they're not, then it's going to be a problem.
Right. I was up at Gateway BMW in St. Louis Friday. I picked up my tires from them, and I happened to just go look at a brand new GSA, a 1250. I don't know what options it had. It had the side cases and the GPS BMW stuff, and I think it was 25 or 26. So I mean, I don't know. You would think if dealers were competitive, they'd drop it a couple thousand to lure more people in, kind of thing.
I think that's the problem, though. Right now with COVID, everybody has shut production down a little bit, so there's not a surplus of bikes. If it's somebody really wants this bike, they'll pay a couple extra grand to get it over someone else.
That is true. I mean,
it's a shame for people who can't afford to be the highest bidder.
Right. You know what I forgot to do?
What'd you forget to do?
Tell April happy birthday.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Just remember, kiddo, you're not going to be as old as you are going to be next year.
She'll be 29 again next year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We've already got it planned out.
Every year I'm. How old's my mom? Is my mom 50 something? And every year I tell her, I'm like, how's it feel to be 62 or something? And it goes right over her head. And she'll catch it later on. She'll be like, I ain't 62, Jordan. So I guess I should probably share the live link. I forgot to do that.
Happy birthday, April, from 110 Soldier Rides Away.
Thank you.
Appreciate your channel, Mike, and updates on the rides. Well, you're very welcome. Speaking of rides, besides the Freedom Rally Memorial Day weekend, we're going to take a couple weeks off. We've got a family weekend planned with the kids, taking them to Branson after that, so we won't have any rides to do there till about middle of June. And then we're going to be doing a ride with the Shriners Passport Run to raise money for the Shriners Lodge in Owensville, which all that goes to Shriners Hospitals. Yeah, so that's the 19th of June. And then we have our benefit on the 26th of June. And we don't have any rides planned in July yet, but we know where we're going to be in the middle of July. Cody Jinks. Do we have any Cody Jinks fans in the house? Me and April have been going to see Cody Jinks together since we started dating. And then last year, because of COVID, they canceled the concert. So that's the only year we haven't got to go see him together in person. And our tickets that we bought last year, we just found out were rescheduled for July 19th, I think.
I don't think you actually told me a day.
It's a Friday night in July. So we're going to go to Columbia to the Blue Note. You ever been to the Blue Note, Jordan?
No. What is it, like a bar or something?
Yeah, they
The 19th would be a Monday.
okay, maybe it's the 16th, probably 16th. Perfect. That's your payday. You're buying.
Hmm.
But it's a bar in
Columbia.
Columbia, and they have it like concerts on the street and stuff too. Besides inside the bar, they block off the street outside, and we'll have outside shows and stuff. And yeah,
Oh.
Mike Bodine wanted me to bring up what they got. Mike, a week left to register for the world record poker run. Our friends over at the Badgers, who have a YouTube channel and a big Facebook group, support bikers and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Support.com is their website. They are putting on the world record poker run. And I think there's 1 week left to register for that. And then they're doing that in August. They will end at Sturgis for the Sturgis Rally, starting in Florida.
Hmm.
I wish we were going too. If we win the lottery between now and then, we might.
Good luck.
Good luck. Yep. Hey, AB, he had something to say to you.
Thank you.
Everybody in here probably ought to, I don't know if, well, Jordan, I don't know if you know who Anonymous Biker is, but he's got a channel. He's been probably doing it a little longer than me, about my size channel, I think, roughly. But last day of May is for the registration. Looks like Mike said.
Show him my present.
Yeah, she's going to show him. Now, bear in mind, she got this as a birthday present from me. The guy who has fought against the helmet law in Missouri bought her this for her birthday. And I don't want people to think it's not that I'm against helmets. I'm just for the freedom of choice.
Right.
So,
I'll have you know, speaking of no helmet, I was working on a V-Star the other day, rode with no helmet. Got a bunch of gnats or something in my eye and hated life for about the next hour and a half. So I tried it. I hate it. It ain't for me.
well, show them what you got, honey.
Boy, look at that.
That's an Icon helmet.
Oh, my.
Yeah, we didn't go cheap.
Yeah, icons are badass.
It's got the chroma paint that's purple and green, depending on the tint.
Throw that back up there. Let me gander at that again. Oh, wow. Look at that. So believe it or not, that real dark metallic purple is one of my favorite colors.
Well, it matches her Harley
Nice.
and matches most of her clothes.
Nice.
And we'll be putting the Cardo unit on that so that, when, like I said, I'm not totally, just because I ride without a helmet doesn't mean I'm against helmets.
Right.
I wear a helmet on my dual sport. I wear a helmet for other reasons. If I'm doing a first ride on a bike I'm not familiar with, I wear a helmet. But we've got Cardo units now, and we test them out a little bit when we did the passport run a few weeks ago for Bill and Ray Ray's pre-elopement party. And we're going to get the Cardo on there, and I'll be able to do dual vlogs. And if anything were to happen, she can yell and scream at me in the Cardo, and I'll know it right away.
Right.
What else did I get?
We needed your grass.
I'm talking about my poker chips.
Oh, your poker chips. Where are they?
They're back there.
There's one on my dresser if you want to go get it. She got poker chips, folks. So if you collect poker chips, get a hold of her. P.O. Box 515. You can send her stickers.
I'm not good at this.
Get it up close and then bring it out a little bit, and then it'll focus on it.
Right there. Oh, wait.
A little more.
There it is.
I'm
Oh,
going
two
right
more.
there, and then
Huh.
Mike uses a Cardo Slim. Well, great, Mike. Maybe we can get it all paired up when you come down for the benefit ride. So I've only paired up her Cardo to my Cardo, but I know with the dynamic mesh on the Cardos, they're supposed to be pretty easy to add another Cardo to the unit. And I know we can tie it to Senna too, but I haven't done that yet. We also learned that the Cardos we've got have a little antenna that you push on that raises it up out of the unit. It definitely makes a difference in the range. First time we rode with them, I forgot to put that out, and April was not happy with me and the quality because she was in the back and she couldn't hear me. And then after the first stop, when she chewed my ass about how crappy they were, we put the antenna out, and then they were much better the rest of the day.
I did not chew your ass. I said the other ones worked better.
Well,
because they had a longer range.
Well, that was my fault. But so AB, anybody else wants to get in the chat? I'll put the stream link in there again. I know AB is not afraid to get on if he's masked up. Anonymous biker is actually anonymous. I've not seen him in any videos without a face covering of some kind. So, well, the first videos I saw of his, he was rolling around. I think it was New Orleans or somewhere when COVID was going on. Everything was kind of desolate downtown, closed down and stuff.
Yeah.
He rides an Indian Scout, and I think he has another bike too. But the Scout's what I think I see him ride the most in videos. And anybody else that wants to get in on the stream, we can put more people in. You don't, I don't know how many people we got left. If people are just dropping in to say hi and have a drink, or dropping out, or what. But I think we might have lost Moto. He may have had somewhere else to go. He ain't said nothing in a while. He's Moto's a Missouri boy also. He rides a Harley and lives up around Kansas City.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't checked the stats in a couple hours. I'm closing in on 4,000 subscribers, Jordan.
Nice.
We're pulling about 150 views an hour right now.
Oh, wow. I don't know what I'm up to. Let me look. I'm up at 90.
Oh, we hit it. We're over 4,000 today.
Cool.
I looked this morning, and we're at 4,005.
Wow.
Yay!
Well, that's crazy how quick you gained 1,000 subs. I think I started hanging out with you when you were, what, 2,500, 3,000?
Probably somewhere around there. I had a big jump in August.
Right.
For like 500 in a couple of days over a viral video. And then, but it was pretty steady through November and December. And so, yeah, I was probably around that 2,500. I don't know if you know that now, but YouTube has a way where you can go back and see your live count and see what your count was at any day and time in history.
Huh.
So, we probably, let's see. Let me go back here and change the date range. I'm over here looking. If I go back to the last 365 days, November I was at around 1,900.
Oh, wow.
Under 2,000. So, a lot of work though. I mean, it doesn't come free. You got to put out videos. Well, thank you, sir. I think somebody just put something in the super chat.
Huh?
$2 from Two Wheels Down. He said, "Happy birthday."
Thank you.
I can buy her a beer with that right out of my refrigerator. But what are you drinking tonight, honey?
Malibu.
Show him that stylish cup you got.
Oh my, you got Malibu. Hold on.
I hate this stupid camera.
It's an autofocus. Bring it back closer to us and it'll focus to begin with. But
Is it
pretty purple cup.
You got Malibu in that?
Yep.
All right, let's do a shot. You ready? 3, 2, 1. That was like 2 shots. Whew.
We're a bad influence on Jordan.
I got Parrot Bay though. It's close enough.
Hey, do you like pickles? Do you like dill pickles?
No.
No? Oh, they had dill pickle shots at the bar last night. They were really good.
That sounds absolutely terrible.
They were frozen
like a slushie.
No, I'd be out. Blech.
They were good.
Two Wheels Down's got PBR. So
Yeah,
anybody that wants to get on the live stream, hang out, or if they have a channel and they want to just say hi and promote their channel, there's a link in the chat. I can put another one in there, or you can scroll up and find that one. We'll put you in the chat. But yeah, we're just we've been talking about the James Pax benefit and the rides that are coming up that we have going on, and that's about it. Birthday girl keeps sliding off to the side over there.
God, look at myself. I am a fat piece of shit. God.
You're sitting too far back from the camera. See, if you sit up close like this, then they can't see everything down there.
Well, yeah, but then they'll see I don't have any front teeth, and everybody will wonder that question.
Yeah.
So I just stay back.
Well, not to be picking on anybody because I need to lose weight too. But we had a kind of a scare. A friend of ours that is in our motorcycle rights organization. He's actually the vice president or vice chairman at state level. He
Mhm.
had a scare over the weekend. They thought he had a heart attack. It turned out to be a blood sugar problem, but it has the same kind of symptoms. And
Oh, wow.
he's home today and stuff. But he said it was a eye opener for him.
Wow. Yeah.
I need to probably be drinking water with my whiskey instead of soda. That'd be healthier, right?
Diet.
I mean, theoretically.
What Powerade drink do you recommend with bourbon? Everybody, any suggestions? Then I can hydrate and drink at the same time.
Let me see that chapstick.
Hold it. We're gonna promote this. We have chapstick. You
Yeah.
get to focus. It says watch for motorcycles on the chapstick, and it's got the little motorcycle on it. Like the watch for motorcycle signs.
What are we supposed to do when we see one?
Chapstick. Huh?
What do we do when we see a motorcycle if we watch for them?
You give them lots of room, lots of space, so they don't wreck trying to get in and out of traffic or anything like that. Don't crowd them. That's rule number one. If you see a car crowding them, then you run the car off the road so the motorcyclist is safe.
I'll be right back. I'm going to go kick the air off because it got loud in here.
Okay. My drink is distilled, but it's just water. Well, that's all right, Mike. I need to be drinking more water. I've been mowing grass today, but we don't look down on anybody for not drinking. But if you are drinking, you can do a shot of water with April. That's okay too. Malibu kind of looks like water. Clear coconut stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys? Any of you? Yeah, they probably don't. Those pictures that were posted for your birthday by Julie Strebe, they probably won't see those because those are on your personal Facebook, aren't they? Yeah. She's got somebody, a friend of ours, posted some pictures from Sturgis. You go wear that
There's
to the
nothing
rally?
bad.
No, you go wear the.
No, because I've gotten too fat. My belly's too fat.
She's got a purple corset. I'm trying to get her to wear it to the rally, but she says she can't wear it.
I'll wear it.
We're going to take it out a lot for you, Jordan.
Thanks.
But yeah. So anything else interesting been going on? Anybody, everybody? World record poker runs coming up. I think we're predicting that we may have a record turnout at the Freedom Rally. From all the RV spots are sold out. From just the website traffic is double this year what it was last year. The post feedback on Facebook seems like we're going to have a good turnout. Hopefully the weather is good. We have some good bands. So I need to check what the forecast is, although it'll change 3 times between now and Thursday. Because this is Missouri.
Yeah. I think it's supposed to rain all week.
Also, we haven't announced this for a while, but August 7th, I'm having a birthday party, 50th birthday party for Mike at Lemonheads in Doolittle. There's going to be a band playing, our friends in the band, and he's donating his time, and the bar's going to pay the rest of the band. But anyways, I'll try to do some videos for everybody of that too.
We have people we're camping with for the rally, and they're messaging us right now about food because they're at the store. Apparently, they did not get the memo. We had a live stream at 8. So, do you want to respond to them and tell them?
Yes, I got this.
You got it. See that? Perfect. She's got it.
And
Just let them know we're bringing enough hot dogs and buns and chips for everybody. That's our part of our contribution. And more if they tell us what they want.
I don't know what you're planning on.
It's in the chat.
Mike got chips.
I'm going to bring
Got
enough for
chips
everybody of the things that I said I'd bring.
for-
I'm not going to tell everybody I'm bringing hot dogs and only bring them for myself. That'd be kind of an ass move, wouldn't it? Yeah, I got hot dogs and chips I'm going to bring for the camping trip and then only show up with 2. So, you done any camping this year, Jordan?
No, not yet. I might this coming up weekend. I'm not sure. I don't know physically I'm ready to lay on the ground yet because I have a hard enough time getting up half the time. But I don't know. I really want to. And some of my upcoming, I'm actually getting ready to go buy a vehicle to start building an overlander tomorrow. So I'm gonna be doing a lot of video on that stuff. So I may be doing a lot of like vehicle camping soon.
Cool. What are you buying? Are you got a secret? Gotta wait to show it on the video. Don't tell.
No, I'll tell you. I don't care. So it's an Isuzu, out of all things. It's a little Amigo.
Little Amigo, eh?
Yeah. It's a
So you
friend.
gonna put the bike behind it, or are you gonna just do the bike and it separate?
No. I'm probably. I really don't know. I'm still up in the air if I'm gonna sell the GS or not. Most likely I will.
Well, that's because you sell you everything eventually.
Well, yeah. The way bike prices are going, though, I'm gonna price a little bit higher.
He's.
How
many bikes have you owned since I've known you in a year?
in a year. So beginning of last
Starting out with the white DR650.
Oh, yep. So is that when I met you?
Yep.
Okay, so I had my white 09 DR650. I sold that for my 2013 KLR 650. After the KLR, I bought the Cross Challenge, and now I own the BMW, all within right at a year.
Now, you've had a couple others that you bought and sold just to buy and sell, though, right?
Right. I had the Ninja 500R, which is over here off camera. It's sold tomorrow. What else did I have?
Yeah, I thought you had another KLR you bought and fixed up.
I did. I didn't know if I knew you at that time. Yeah, that's right. That was a 99 KLR 650 that I wish I would have kept now. Just because it would have been a great beater bike kind of thing.
So that's like 6 bikes in the last year.
Yeah.
That's about right. Yeah, I've had the DR just about a year now that I've actually owned it, got it running and stuff. So that's about how long it was. Right after I got it running that we met, because it was right after the Petcock busted on me that we started hanging out.
Yeah, because that was right there at the time I got that bike because it had that real loud exhaust on it. And I was trying to find somebody to trade.
Yeah, I wasn't done
Yeah,
with the stock exhaust.
I think we got ours right almost at the same time. I'm trying to figure out how to share my story from Facebook to Instagram, and I can't figure it out.
It's weird. Instagram's owned by Facebook, but they don't integrate very well. There's a business version of Facebook that you can do where you can post to Facebook and Instagram at the same time.
Oh.
But you have to use this like business, creators app or something for it. I've got it, but I don't hardly ever use it.
Right.
But yeah, if for any reason somebody wants to try and do Creator Studio, it's an app you can download and you can do like posts to Instagram and Facebook at the same time with it instead of having to do 2 separate posts. So you got to ride a lot more last week than I did. I haven't hardly rode the last week.
Really?
Yeah, between work and getting ready for the rally, and I had my daughter this last week, so that's usually not a ride as much week.
Yeah, I really been racking up some miles. I figured since I'm still waiting on the title, I'm like, I'm just gonna ride it. I mean, the guy that was gonna buy it, he bought a Royal Enfield Himalaya, and so I mean, I've got no buyers for the GS right now, so I'm like, I'm gonna ride it. I don't care.
Kind of surprising if he was in the market for a GS, he settled for that.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard pretty good about the Himalayan, but
it's still quite a bit, considerably less bike.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe, yeah.
Not that you can't get to both places to the same place on both bikes,
Right.
but as far as features, power, how many cc's is the Himalayan?
I don't know. Let me look.
I'm thinking it's less than 500.
Probably.
Royal Enfield's kind of really big in the 350 to 600 cc market, you know.
Right.
I just did a video that came out today talking about the there's a company. Do you know who Hero is in China?
I've heard of them.
India, India, I guess they're in India. They are the largest two-wheel manufacturer in the world by volume.
Huh.
Yeah, Mike Bodine says the Himalaya is 350 cc's. That's about what I was
Oh,
thinking.
wow. Yeah, that guy's going to hate life probably.
Well, I mean, if he's not in a hurry to get there, you'll be fine.
Yeah, I didn't know they were that small.
Yeah. But Scott thinks it's a 650.
Let me look.
Now we're gonna have to go look and see. Hey, Scott, SA Rider's in the house. We have to give him a shout out. I need to make sure he knows I am working on that first ride video. I just have not had time to finish editing it the way I want. I want to try and really take my time with it and do it first, a good video. That Scott's the one that you met, Jordan, at Tater Patch, the FTR.
Yeah, I remember him.
SA Rider in there. So I did put a little clip of that in my my video that I put out yesterday where I was talking about the custom 1250. I kind of compared it on horsepower to other cruisers, including the FTR 1200. And when we turned left on that road and I got on it in first gear and it popped the front end off the ground, I included that little clip when I was talking about the FTR. So
from what I can tell, the 2016 to present Enfields are 411 cc with 9.5 to 1 compression, meaning they don't make no power. So, I mean, they're cool. I don't mind them. I think they're cool, but I personally wouldn't own one. Speaking of pulling the front wheel, Mike, Matt, Backroads Traveler on the KLR.
Yeah.
So he was over here Friday night when I was putting my new tires on the GS. And I ran up the parking lot behind our shop here and turned around and when I came in the parking lot, I just nailed my GS. And I'm like, it's just going to take, I haven't actually got on the bike in first. And it got to about 55, 6,000 RPM in the front tire. Came up, violently started to come up. I'm like, holy shit, this bike actually kind of goes. I've never ran it to redline. So I was actually impressed that it would do that because I didn't think it would.
Well, I was kind of surprised when I got on Scott's FTR 1200 because I went back and looked, and I knew I was going slow to make sure everybody behind me made the turn before I got on it. And I thought I was doing 5 or 10 mile an hour when I nailed it and it lifted the front end. I went back and looked, and I was actually close to 20 mile an hour when I nailed it and it brought the front end up. So I wasn't, I wasn't at the bottom end of the gear,
Right.
It had plenty of power at the top end still to bring the front tire up.
Yeah, I'm sure that one, if you just, cracked it real hard, it'd probably do it. But I kind of come around the corner and just, rolled into it, and it just it was weird.
Yeah, Mike's commenting here. They do make a 650. It's a different model. Yeah, that's the Continental GT 650, I believe.
Gotcha.
That's the bike that Royal Enfield wants to bring to the United States. That's the bike they think they can break into the U.S. market with because 500cc bikes and under don't do well in the U.S. Just, they're starter bikes because, it's really a different kind of riding here than compared to India. In India, you're 40 mile an hour, you might hit a freaking cart, a cow in a cart, around the next curve. So they don't run that fast.
That and, over in Europe and other countries, a lot of their roads are really small too. But, in the U.S., everything's big highway.
But yeah, the Himalayan seems to be 411 cc's. But yeah, they do have different models up. And I know the Continental 650 is the one that Royal Enfield, I actually read an article and thought about doing a video on it. That's the one they want to break into the U.S. with because they want to be seen as a global brand. And that means they've got to get dealerships and they've got to get bikes in the U.S. and they think
Right.
that is the bike that they have the best chance of doing it with. Hey, Scott, I want you to know it wasn't as much drinking as it was at the motel, but I did take her out drinking last night for her birthday. So,
Oh, by the way, thank you, Scott.
hey, Scott, you're not coming down for the Freedom Rally, right? Red Indian is supposed to have a banner, but we don't know who's got it and who's bringing it. But they paid to put a banner up at the rally, and we had that discussion Saturday. So they sponsored and they paid, but we don't have their banner. Usually they provide the banner, and we don't know who's getting it and bringing it. Yeah, I don't know. I took out an ad, Jordan. I mean, this was a year and a half ago, so I didn't talk to you about it because we'd already done all that stuff. But
Yeah.
like I took out an ad for Riding in the Ozarks as like a T-shirt sponsor. They have they have rally T-shirts, and on the back they have, blocks for different sponsors. And so
Right.
I did a little YouTube promoting on there.
Nice.
All right, Scott said probably not.
He's
Yeah,
not making the rally.
he's not coming to the rally.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I wouldn't be able to stay up till 2:00 in the morning drinking with you unless I was on security shift anyway. Then I might.
He said got the kids.
Yeah, I'm doing security on Saturday night from 8 to 12 at the bar, which is right when the band plays anyway, and that's where I want to be anyway, so that's okay.
I'm doing the bike show and helping with the bike events and working some shifts, and I'm getting drunk no matter what. Every night.
Well, we have friends there that you can get drunk with if I have to work.
Has it ever stopped me?
You and Julie can sit right out there and get drunk, show your corset.
I'm not.
You
I haven't even tried it on to see if it still fits.
know, when we were talking about the Himalaya and how small it is, I don't want people to think I'm hating on it. Sometimes people get really defensive. In the video, I talked about the custom 1250 yesterday, and they thanks Mike Bodine.
Thank you again, Mike.
This guy is incredible. He just donated on PayPal again. Even though he's donated 3 times before tonight, he donated a 4th time tonight. He has now donated $800 to that James Pax benefit.
Wow.
So, Mike,
Yes.
you might have to do a speech at the benefit. We may call your ass out.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, if you really don't want to, we won't, but we'll be happy to give you some recognition because you've been very, very generous, and we appreciate it. But like talking about the Royal Enfield, when I talk about it and it's only being 411 cc's, I'm not trying to knock it. Like I said, you can get to the same places. You're just going to get there in a different way or at a different speed. But I'm just saying it's a considerably different bike than a GS 1200 as far as power and stuff like that.
Right.
I did this video on the custom 1250, and when the custom 1250 first kind of came out, before we knew too much about the engine and everything and how much horsepower it was going to be, I kind of said I thought it was going to be a Sportster replacement. And the reason is in Europe and several other markets, the Sportster can't be sold anymore. The Sportster no longer meets Euro 5 standards. So they're not allowed to sell it after January 1st in Europe. Asia follows a lot of those same standards, so they can't sell the Sportster there. So, when I say it's going to be a Sportster replacement in those markets, it is going to be the probably lowest CC bike that Harley Davidson has to offer. The closest thing to a Sportster for size of engine and weight.
Right.
But the reality is what I said in the video yesterday after the, hey, Back Roads has made it. And he said, happy birthday.
Hey, look at that.
Yeah. So Mike Bodine said nope. So I assume he does not want to do a speech.
He will still get recognition. Everybody's going to get recognition.
Yeah,
we're making a board, and it's going to say everything.
We won't necessarily call you out and tell everyone who you are or anything, but we do want to recognize people who have donated and make sure that the family knows that
how much support we've had from everybody.
Right. So anyway, but the deal with the happy birthday from Seaside, California.
Oh, look at that.
River.
We need to go to California.
We got a friend out there, Jaron. I don't know where he is. He should have been in the live stream.
Mm-hmm.
But he's moved back to California and he used to ride with us here. So we need to go
Never
out there
been,
and see him.
you guys never been to California?
No,
I have never been to California.
You got to ride
no
out there.
desire to go.
I hadn't lost anything there because I'd never been there. But now I have a friend there, so I've kind of lost something there, even though I haven't been there.
Like I don't even know how to explain it, but it's
A
almost
different world.
Yeah, it really is. Like, I mean, when I went out there, I mean, LA is like you can't explain it. You got to experience. Like, it's not like night and day difference, but just the way things feel and the way things are. It's different. It don't feel like you're in the United States anymore. It's weird.
Yeah, that's kind of why I haven't been. I might
Yeah.
not be real comfortable there.
Yeah, when I was out there, I went up Mulholland Drive and stuff on my bike, and went up through Malibu and up Coastal Highway. I mean, I love it out west. Like I've been debating on packing up here in a couple of weeks and going back, but I just hadn't decided yet.
Well, where I was going with the custom 1250 story. So the custom 1250 is not out yet. All we know is we've seen pictures of it, and we know it has the same engine as the Pan America, and it's going to be a muscle cruiser. Now that we know the Pan America is out and people have rode it, and we know the specs on that engine, we at least know something from the weight of the Pan America and how it's designed as a stress member of the frame, and we know how much horsepower it has. So I did a video kind of comparing the custom 1250. I made some assumptions about weight, and I made some assumptions about price. We know what the horsepower is, but based on the Pan America, I was pretty conservative. I said it would be like, even if it was a 600-pound bike, it would make this much horsepower per pound.
Right.
If it was, or 550. The Pan America is, around 540 or to 520, depending on which model you get. And some people said the custom 1250 will be less weight because it won't have as much off-road stuff. It won't need as much. It's not going to have a windshield. It's not going to have as big a fairing. So It might come in less weight than the Pan America. Some people said it would cost less because it wouldn't have the fancy adaptive suspension and things like that, electronic suspension. But we don't know that. We don't know that it won't have electronic suspension. I mean, if you look at bikes like the Ducati Dival and some of those muscle cruisers that are from Europe, they have a whole bunch of traction control and automatic suspension, at least semi-automatic suspension and things like that. So we really don't know what it is or isn't going to have yet. But I kind of compared it to like the Rebel and the Indian Scout and then the Indian FTR and then the Ducati Dival, which the Ducati's 159 horsepower, 162 horsepower. So this, with the Harley being 150, that's kind of its closest competitor. Really, the FTR is 123 or 126 horsepower. But based on price, that's still a big if. I'm just making guesses here. I'm making assumptions, but the more I look at this bike, and now that I know what the horsepower and everything else is, I see it as being like a new version of the V-Rod with different styling. And the V-Rod was a $17,500 motorcycle when they quit making it 2 years ago. Huh. So I don't think they'll make this bike that's a V-Rod replacement and price it less than they priced the V-Rod. I just don't think Harley management will do that. Not saying they can't do it or can't make it for less, but the Ducati Dival is $20,300 and the V-Rod was $17,500. So I think they can price it in between, and they'll say that we're still cheaper than the Dival and we have comparable performance. Kind of like they did with the BMW, come in just underneath it and say, well, whether we're just as good or not, we're close and we're more affordable and we have a better dealer network in the US. And so I think that's the play they'll make. And some guy, went off on me about Sportsters again, because I mentioned in the video that I still think Sportsters are dead after this year. And he's like, have you rode one? Blah, blah, blah. You just don't understand the horsepowers and you need to get out of your understand the sporties and you need to get out of your horsepower rut. Well, I'm talking about horsepower because there's really nothing else to talk about. We don't know anything about the bike besides the motor for real.
Right.
So that's all we have to kind of speculate on at the moment. And just because I think the Sportsters are going to be dead doesn't mean I hate on them. I just think that's the reality. Harley's went from 8 models of Sportsters 3 years ago to 3.
Oh, wow.
So, the writing's on the wall, and I'm not the only person out there saying that Sportsters are dead after this year. There's other publications that have said it. Big magazine companies have said it in articles. So we'll see. This is anti-LA. Yeah, I really don't know a whole lot about California. Is Monterey area where
I have no idea.
Jordan went? Or Jaron?
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't go to California just to go to LA because, it's a neat city to visit, but Northern California is good. Southern California, I like Southern California personally, but Northern, is just flat beautiful.
She wants to ride the PC Highway, the Pacific Coast Highway. So
I wish I would have done it when I was out there, but that's back when I.
Yeah, I'm still interested in if we go out there doing that. That's the kind of thing I would like to do. I'm probably not interested in just opening a beer. Just got back from a coast ride to Santa Cruz. So yeah, we got Jim Beam and Coke here. And Miss April, what are you drinking?
Malibu and Diet Coke.
So cheers. And I don't know that there's a whole lot in California I want to see, but I would. There are things I would like to experience, like riding the coastal highway or things like that, or the mountains and stuff, more for the scenic aspect of it. Backroads wants to do San Francisco just for the history aspect. So you want to do San Francisco just so you can say, I've done San Francisco? That's, you say for the history aspect, I guess like from like the gold rush days kind of history, what a history is particularly fascinating for you. And you see Buck had stuff for you here.
Thank you. You guys have been talking, so I haven't been able. Backroads Travelers, thank you, and
Santos
Riviera, and
Hell's on Two Wheels
Buck
just come
Champ.
in. Buck Champ come in. Yeah,
yes, thank you all for the birthday wishes.
Yeah, Buck, do not pay her to karaoke because last time we did that, even though I put like 15 seconds of Guns N' Roses on, I got a copyright strike, and they said I had to share any revenue with the song creator company.
Oh wow!
There's Rat Fink, EDR, El Diablo run. So there's a run that Joe Sparrow posted about, and I think Scooter Tramp Scotty talked about, but they go down to Baja. A bunch of old bikers go down to Baja in the winter to stay and stuff. There's like a big run that goes on down there. That's one I want to check out for sure. Gold Rush and seafaring. So that's the history aspect. Yeah, the Gold Rush. That's what I kind of figured was with San Francisco in particular that you were looking at. But I'm trying to see here where Jaron's at. If we go to California, that's probably where we're going. See if he's going to show me where he's at. If he's got that private now. I know he lives in a homeowners association neighborhood, and he is not freaking happy about it. He's gotten a couple of tickets since he's been back because his bumper stuck out over the end of the driveway into the sidewalk area by a couple inches. So they ticketed him.
Well, that's
shit would happen here in Missouri if you did that. Try to write me a ticket because my bumper was out over the past end of the driveway. Live 3 blocks from Monterey Bay.
School in Missouri.
Did you go to S&T then? I'm sure. We are sitting about 3 miles from TJ Hall. Added Lone Star Rally to our schedule. There's a big thing going on, and Jordan, you may knew about this because you've been doing YouTube longer than me, but I guess there's a thing in Texas this weekend called Get On Moto Fest. And there's a bunch of moto bloggers down there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The other thing I had not really knew a lot about until this year, and I caught on to it too late, but the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride was today. You know what that is?
No, I don't really keep up with rides and stuff.
This is like a global thing to raise money for men's mental health. Triumph sponsors it. And like there's a sponsored ride out of St. Louis and out of Kansas City in Missouri.
I'll be in.
Fort Leonard Wood. So that engineering school. So thank you for your service. We are about 23 miles from that. And I might actually have been involved in building that engineering school when I was 15 years old. That's a long time ago. 35 years ago, they built that engineering school at Fort Wood. If it's the one I'm thinking.
The one that was built in 1948.
There was a building built, and I thought it was for the engineering school, and it would have been closer to mid 80s, Jordan. Mid 80s, not mid 40s.
Oh.
Thank you, though.
40s, 80s.
I expect you to come out for my birthday and not drink.
Me?
Yeah. Since you don't drink now, you still can come out and make fun of me for being old.
Oh, I'll never turn that down.
We're going to be at Lemonheads in Doolittle.
Oh, yeah.
Friends of ours are playing, so.
Nice.
For what?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm having him a party.
She's having a band.
You didn't hear me announce that?
Earlier?
Yeah, Casey Ritz is playing at Lemonheads August 7th, and we're having my birthday party there.
Nice. I might
Fort Leonard Wood, sir.
Yeah, it was supposed to be a surprise, but I can't keep it.
Oh.
Surprise. I'm not good at that.
She can't keep a secret from me?
No, I'm not good at that.
So,
Oh, Mike, I got you a birthday present. Hold on, I forgot. Hold on. You ready?
Yeah. Is it going to be the middle finger or a different finger?
No.
No, okay.
It's a little token I had made just for you and your YouTube channel.
Yeah. Yeah, it is the middle finger, see?
Yeah.
I knew I was coming with you.
Yeah.
I got you red.
I got something neat in my pocket, though, for you.
It's the other finger.
I keep one of those in that pocket all the time.
Yeah, the channel's doing pretty good today. I was like 20 below 4,000 this morning, like 39.81 or something. So I wasn't sure I was going to hit it today even.
I missed all that, I guess.
Okay, so you want to read it over here or over there?
I don't know. I'm just cheers.
Norm L said happy birthday.
Thank you. Okay, I guess I've seen them all then.
Thank you, Norm. Thank you, Buck, for dropping in and saying hi. So Buck is fairly local. He's here in the Midwest. We've met him in person down at Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue. So what else is going on? You know, the talking about the custom 1250 and that whole deal there, though, you know, the one guy, just because I talk about a bike and how it compares on horsepower, and I say another bike beats it on horsepower, doesn't mean I don't think it's a good bike. You know, people get butthurt, to be honest, about stuff if you don't like their bike the best. And I'm not, Jordan, you know, I'm not hung up on horsepower. I ride a 900-pound fat-ass bagger with 94 horsepower. There's plenty of bikes out there that are faster than mine. I don't, you know, you don't hear me talking about how I wished I had a stage 4 or a 131 kit all the time.
Right.
I'm quite happy with my bike the way it is. And I know it's not the fastest bike out there. But when you're doing a YouTube video and you don't have a lot else to go on, that's kind of the only thing you can speculate. And the horsepower is the one known value. You kind of, you know, try and speculate around that.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, that's one reason I don't do a lot of review stuff anymore or comparison videos. You know, I did the cross challenge to KLR thing because it's relatively close and it was kind of a one-off bike, but some people just, I don't know what the hell people think. It's like they either think they know it all or this is the best.
You don't agree with them that you're hating on whatever they have.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hell's on Wheels. There's nothing wrong with having a big cubic inch bagger. I'm not against that. I think you probably missed the first part of the conversation. I was talking about having, about comparing different motorcycles on horsepower. And some guy said I was in a horsepower rut. That was all I cared about. And that's not all I care about personally, because I don't have a high horsepower bike. My bagger's 94 cubic inches. It's 114 foot-pounds of torque. It's a stage one. I'm happy with it. I don't think every bike built needs to be the bike with the most horsepower, or that, the bike with the most horsepower is better than every other bike. But, when you're making content and you're talking about things on a bike that hasn't been released yet, and the only thing you know about it's the engine, like the custom 1250, there's not a lot else to talk about.
Right.
And,
what's funny is, and this gets a lot of people that I talk to, is theoretically, now I'm not saying I'm a professional rider, but I can take that Ninja 500, and I'm sure there's a couple of sport bike guys out there that I could wax their ass on the little 500, because my experience level is higher. So it's, you can have a high horsepower, but now a cruiser bike's different. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to say about a cruiser bike, but when it comes to horsepower, it's like my GS. It's got way more than I need. It goes way faster than I need. I'm a person, I don't care. If I buy a crotch rocket, I want a fast fucking bike. Like, I want a leader bike, a big bike. I want something that runs its ass off. But if I buy an adventure or dual sport, I really don't care. A 200cc ain't really going to cut it because I'm a big guy, but it will cut it, on trails. But like a cruiser, if I can, I rode 650 cruisers. I had one, was it last year or the year before? I had a little 650 V-Star, and I bought it cheap, and I'm like, I'm going to ride it. And in fifth gear, it's screaming at like 65. I'm like, well, that's all it does. And so, I could see, having a little bit more power behind that, but
right.
But yeah, people it's just like, it's got to have big power to be a motorcycle. I'm like, I can ride something with 30 horsepower and be pretty damn happy on it, kind of thing.
Yeah. And I think that's this guy's thing. He thinks I'm hating on Sportsters, and I just don't understand them and this and that. And he loves Sportsters, and that's fine.
Right.
I'm not a big Sportster fan. I've owned one. I've rode one. 3 weeks ago, I rode one on a demo ride. It didn't change my mind. Riding the 1200 fuel injected version didn't change my mind about the Sportster over the 883 one I owned that was 15 years older.
Right.
They're different bikes, and it runs a little better and everything else, but it just isn't for me, and it's not something I'm personally excited about. But doesn't mean it's a bad bike.
Right.
And I said that, but just, the other comments, I've been really getting a lot on YouTube. I did the Pan America ride, first ride video.
Yeah.
And everybody who has a 150 horsepower motorcycle out there like the Dival now say, welcome to modern motorcycling. You've been in these Star Races and everything else. Okay. Just because I think this bike is great because it has that performance and it has all that doesn't mean that my bagger's a piece of shit.
Mm-hmm.
My 94 horsepower, 900-pound bagger is still the bike I would rather own.
Right.
Different bikes for different purposes.
Yeah.
And, all that really matters in the end is it makes you happy. I'm just one other asshole on YouTube giving my opinion. It's my channel.
Right. Yeah. I don't get why people are like that.
They make it too personal when you don't like what they like.
Right. I've said this 1,000 times. I'm not a Harley guy. Do I hate Harleys? No, not really. I don't care for them, but I also really don't care for crotch rockets. And I like bikes that I can ride in every terrain, kind of thing. And
yeah, Scott brought up the Sporty with the Hammer kit is pretty cool, and that I'm not saying it's not. It's I'll be honest. I rode that 1200 Sportster, and the thing that I felt like when I rode it after owning a bagger and after riding the Pan America and after riding the Street Bob 114, before I rode the Sportster, in a month prior to that, I rode my bagger, which I ride all the time. I rode your GS. I rode Scott's FTR 1200. I rode the Pan America. I rode a Street Bob 114. I rode a Road King, a brand new Road King. I rode a brand new Fat Boy. And then I rode the Sporty. And the Sporty's cheaper than all of them. And it shows in the build quality. There are things like if you get on a new Road King, you don't see any electrical wiring around the handlebars. Everything's routed inside the handlebars, nice and clean. It's part of what makes that bike have that clean look. Right. But you get on the Sporty, they don't bother doing that. And it doesn't mean it's bad, but you're paying a lot less for it and stuff.
Right.
It's not, it's different, and it's just not something I was excited about. I was like, I don't have to buy a Sportster because I can't afford something else. If money was the object and my limitation of what I could afford for a motorcycle, I might be in a different situation. But I'm in the situation that, I'm going to buy what I like. And if that means I got to work 2 jobs, then that's what I'll do to do it, Right. And I would rather buy something else than the Sportster. The Street Bob 114s, $4,000 or $5,000 more. And I'd spend that $4,000 or $5,000 every day to step up to the Street Bob 114 over a Sportster. Right. And I think what happens with people that buy Sportsters is they ride them. Some people love them and will hang on to them forever, and that's great. But then other people buy them, and it's their step up bike. They ride them for a couple of years, and they step up to something else. Right.
Yeah, I've actually heard that. And it's a similar thing for me. I'm not a super big BMW fan. I'm just getting into these, but I did ride an F800 last week, and I actually enjoyed it, which would be I would say it would be a step down from what I got because it's a little bit smaller. But I see a lot of guys usually start out on an F650, which is a small BMW, and then they usually migrate to something larger. But from what I came off of to this big thing, I'm actually gonna do something opposite. I paid $8,000 for the bike behind me because I'm like, I've always wanted one, and I just got extra money to play with, so I bought the bike, and I'm like, well, this is stupid. I was happier on my 38 horsepower, 500-pound KLR 650, but this thing's a dream down the highway, but it does no better than it does the KLR off road.
Hey Jordan, I'm gonna turn the air on here. If it gets nasty on the audio, let me know.
Okay.
It's a little hot in here. Road Rash, I showed April your message, and Scott, I showed her your message that she needs to take the Street Bob out. Can you hear the fan from the air conditioner too much?
I can't even hear it.
Good. I'm running a little different mic setup the last couple of them, trying to do a little better audio setup.
Oh yeah.
So if anybody wants to get in, whether it's Hells on Two Wheels or Road Rash, I can put other people in. I can drop out for a little while and other people can chat. But, I know Road Rash gets in sometimes. Hells on Two Wheels, like you said, you had a channel. So I think I've seen a couple of your videos. But the Lowrider S, April rode the Lowrider S a couple weeks ago at the demo rides we did in Jeff City.
I don't like the mid controls. It's my problem.
Yeah, she absolutely hates mid controls. Her Dyna that she started with has forward controls, and she feels very uncomfortable going back to mid controls because she's used to forward controls. And I told her, I said the Lowrider S or the Street Bob can all have forward controls. That's why Scott SA Rider said she needs to take his Street Bob out because he's already put forward controls on his. So we may have to go to Columbia one day when Scott's going to be home and go up and visit.
I gotta get my back better first.
Yeah, April's. We haven't put it all over the internet or anything, but she threw her back out last Saturday. I had to help her put her socks and shoes on for a couple days, and she's better now, but she's still hurting every day a little bit. She has to get up and walk around, stretch, then sit down for a little while. My short wife makes them look like forward controls. So, I don't know what else is The Hero thing I started talking about earlier with Hero and Harley Davidson. That's in that news video I put out this morning. And we were talking about Royal Enfield, and that's kind of what led into it. Hero makes primarily motorcycles or scooters that are under 225 cc's. They don't make anything in what India calls the middleweight cruiser market. And in India, the middleweight cruiser market is 350 cc's to like 650. And Royal Enfield dominates and has like 90% of that market. So Hero wants to get into that market. So they've put a partnership in with Harley Davidson. They're going to distribute the Harley Davidsons in India now that Harley's closed up their own shop in India. But they want to build and brand a motorcycle under the Hero name and under the Harley Davidson name as part of that partnership in India. And I don't know that a bike like that would ever see the U.S. I don't know how it would do here, but I do have some followers on the channel that would really like to see a 350cc or 400cc Harley Davidson low-end bike for, people that just want something to commute to with or urban, kind of riding style only. And, Scott says, I'll be at that ride on 6/23. I hope he means
The 26th.
26, Scott. 6/26. That's a typo, right, bro? The PAX benefit ride. So Jordan's going to try and be there if he's around.
Yeah, when is it? 6/26. So that's
Into June.
Almost a month. Yeah, right at a month now. I'm sure I'll be around.
You won't have taken the Highlander off and ran away yet?
I don't know. It's been pretty tempting, man.
Oh, Hell's on Twos is going to come in, so we'll get him in here. What's up, brother?
I figured I'd get on and chat with you guys for a little bit.
Well, welcome to the channel.
I've been watching you.
Well, now you're on the live stream. Backroads Traveler says I'll be there. SA Rider will be there. So we'll have hopefully, looks like we're gonna have a good turnout for the benefit. We have,
He said typo.
yeah, it's a typo, so he'll be there. But we have like 108 people have responded locally that they're coming to the benefit ride and stuff. So I think we'll have for our area a pretty good ride. Look at this. Isn't that a great woman? It's her birthday and she's gonna go make me a drink.
Nice.
Oh,
Mike, don't you have a cat?
Do I have a cat? Yes, he's in the other room where I like to leave him.
Oh,
It's not really my cat. It's my daughter's cat, and I put up with it for approximately 13, 14 months till she goes off to college, and she's got to figure out what to do with the fucking thing.
oh. I was going to say, pet the fire out of it for me.
No, you can come over and play with the cat this week if you'd like, though.
I'll pet the fuck out of that cat. I would enjoy that. Don't threaten me with a good time.
You just want to pet the pussy.
Goose.
So Hell's on Two Wheels, man. Tell us a little bit about your channel and what's been going on in your world. You're new on here, so we'll give you a little airtime.
Man. All right. So our channel, into 2020, we decided we wanted to do something since 20 was a wash. So we just packed up our house and packed up the bikes and hit the road. We're in Florida right now. I believe for a couple of weeks we'll be in Texas. We're traveling the whole U.S.
Hell yeah.
My channel, we lay a lot of miles. That's what we do. We ride. You won't see a lot of reviews and all that stuff.
I think I caught a video, I think, of yours where was it your wife's birthday and you guys were like filming in a restaurant where you took a break and it was like midnight and you were getting ready to head out somewhere?
Yeah. We went over to Tampa to celebrate her birthday with Sonny and Angie with the Badgers.
Yeah.
And we were, well, it was like 1 o'clock in the morning. We're sitting in a gas station. We're like, do you want to go home? Nah. Let's go to Key West. Okay. That's the type of stuff that we do. Just, you'll never know, like we were a few weeks ago, because we're in Daytona right now. And at 4 o'clock on Friday afternoon, they're like, let's go to Houston to do a ride tomorrow. Okay. So we took off at 4 o'clock Friday evening got to Houston at 10 o'clock in the morning, then went and did a ride.
Damn.
Well, I've got my dad actually lives just south of the Houston area.
Yeah, I've gotten to know, I got a lot of family in Houston, but I've gotten to know a lot of moto vloggers from Texas. And that's we're kind of same mentality. We're all crazy. We don't,
Yep. My dad lived down there. I think I helped him move down there about 5 years ago. He works for the government. Took a job down there. He'd been in Wisconsin before that, and he didn't take a bike for the first few years, and his knees are getting bad. He's not able to ride a lot. And the last time we rode together, he dropped the bike because he couldn't hold it up because his knees gave out and stuff. And so he's been working on his health and stuff like that, and he's lost some weight, and hopefully his knees are getting stronger and stuff. And he took his Springer down there this year, and he's been down there like 4 years, and he finally took a bike down there. And he hates the helmet law in Missouri, which we just got changed this last year. But when I talked to him about moving back, he's like, well, Missouri still got personal income tax, and Missouri still got a helmet law, so I might just stay here. And he said, but the only problem is down here around where he lives, he said the fucking roads are all flat and straight, and I hate that too. So he's like, it's a toss-up. But now that we've got the helmet law repealed, I think he's going to come back when he retires.
Well, the only thing I don't like about Houston, it's like a real-life game of Frogger.
Yeah. He's down in Alamogordo County. He's at Bay City. So he's not in the traffic unless he has to go to the Houston office to do stuff because he's based out of the Houston, Galveston area.
Right.
For the government. So
yeah, there's a few guys ride with her down in that area. But yeah, with us, our channel, you never know. Like what the fun part is, we've met a lot of YouTubers. And they'll say, you're crazier in person than you are on camera. I'm like, yeah, because I don't want evidence of what happens.
Right.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy there weren't like smartphones when I was growing up, or I would probably spend a lot more time in trouble than I did already.
Yeah, there's actually 25 years between me and my youngest brother. And when he was growing up, he's like, well, I don't know why I'm getting in trouble. I was like, yeah, because you idiots video everything. Yep. We didn't do that crap. We talked about it, but there was no proof it even happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's me and my old lady. She started her riding journey this year. Like I said, we got her on the Lowrider S.
Thank you, baby.
We got that. The funny thing is her first bike's a built freaking 114, and I'm like, oh well. I mean, if you're going to do it, you're going to do it.
April rides a 2000 Dyna. It's actually they only made them certain years, but it's the sport convertible, I think. But I'm a lowrider guy. I started out on a 94 lowrider Dyna, and her Dyna that's a 2000, a 88 that's been built. You can tell it's got cams in it. It's carbureted, but it runs really strong. And but it's when I first looked at the bike, I'm like, it looks like a lowrider, but it's not a lowrider because it doesn't have the right tank and console set up. It's got the gauges up here and all this, but it's got dual front disc brakes like a lowrider, but it's not a lowrider. It's one of the few Dynas. They only made them certain years to have that dual front disc brakes.
If you go back in my library on my channel, I actually have my first Harley on there. I built that one from 88 to a 130. It was a Deuce.
Soft tail Deuce. We got a friend that's wanting to sell a Deuce about that time frame. I think it's a 2005, isn't it?
Deuce.
Randy's Deuce he's trying to sell.
Oh, I don't know.
But yeah, we've got a friend that's got a Deuce he's trying to get rid of.
I've been looking for the Holy Grail. That's a 07 because they only made it for the first half of the year. And the reason I want the 07 because it comes with the 96 and the 6-speed. And those 96 twin cams are they're bulletproof. So, but they're hard to find.
Yeah, the guy that we bought her bike from, and the guy that works on my bike, he has a shop, and I've got videos of him on an old Electra Glide that's a 96, and he built it. And he, apparently they had a few beers around the shop one afternoon when it was slow. He had nothing else to do, so he started doing burnouts in the shop and leaving black marks and smoking up the shop. So that's what happens when we're left unsupervised. Yeah, I know those 96s can be built pretty hard.
Yeah. Yeah, I've done a lot of those twin cam 96s, build them. I mean, you can run them out of oil and they still run. That's what I love about them. It don't matter; they'll just go. And they got, I mean, they don't. You can change your sprockets to get the top end, but they don't have a lot of top end. But man, out of the hole, they'll just jerk you off.
Well, and it's kind of like we get to talking about, we talk about people saying, oh, you should, this or that, or you're in a horsepower rut. I don't have anything against a 131. I'm just, I can run 115 on my Street Glide. I don't know that I really want to run 140 on it. I mean, it does what I need it to do, and it makes me happy. And that's what I try and tell people all the time. And Jordan knows me personally. We ride together and stuff. I don't care what you ride. If we go on a group ride and we got a guy in the back that's new and he doesn't want to ride that fast, then we'll slow down. It's not push anybody beyond their limits or anything else. Mm-hmm. If I'm out by myself, it's just me and her, I might run 110 mile an hour for 100 miles down I-44 to get home before the rain. We've done it a few nights. We've left the rat run and wanted to get home before it got dark. And so we just hammered it, and hammered it hard. And we had one or two people with us that I knew were be okay and comfortable with that. Right. But, it's, we all do this because we love riding, and it's, it should be about, endorsing and respecting other people and say, do what you love, what you ride. Doesn't matter what it is, just have fun with it and be, reasonably safe. I'm not saying you got to be, I'm not saying you can't cut up a little bit, but don't put other people in danger.
Well, that's I mean, I get that all the time because I'm big into build my bike, but that's for me. That's not for everybody else. And what they don't realize is, like, when I'm group riding, I don't need that big bike because I don't act like a fool in group riding. It's when I go out by myself, because if I'm going to mess up, I won't mess up by myself. I'm not going to take out a bunch of people.
Right.
So, but yeah, I don't know. This whole YouTube thing is crazy. It's kind of opened my eyes in this world. Like you guys were talking about, people giving you crap about a part or about a bike or something. And what I found out is a lot of these guys are what I call keyboard bikers. Like they haven't turned the wrench. They haven't laid the miles. They've just read stuff, or they've been on chats and heard somebody talk about it. And then they want to promote it like they know exactly what the subject is.
Yep.
So, and a great example is I have a 20 Road Glide that built the motor on, blew it up on the way back from Texas. Well, next thing I know, I'm getting stuff like, hey, you should have got the fueling dipstick, the crank pressure, and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, if you guys actually understood how these motors work, if you have to get a vented dipstick, then you got bigger problems than just crankcase pressure. And they're like, well, no, because fueling says, I'm like, you guys don't understand how these motors work. If you think I'm going to buy a $300 part and think it's going to fix it, you got bigger problems than this $300 part. I'm like, it's kind of funny. We build these race motors all the time and we don't use that crap. We're not using these parts that you see on the guys promoting, you need this part. You need to put this little filter on your intake. That's another one that just, you can say, grind my gears the other day when I saw a guy promoting that. Yeah, you need to drill your intake and put this little filter because you have blow by and oil getting in. I'm like, all Harley motors have done that. The Evos did it. The twin cams did it. The M8s are doing the same thing. It's so not.
I got a 94 lowrider, and it feeds the blow by back into the carburetor from the cylinder head. Okay, yep. 1990 did not do that. It was between 90 and 94 when Harley started doing that because people got tired of it pissing fucking oil out the fucking air cleaner all over the ground because it's still blowing by. It's just a matter of where it goes. Right,
but the 103s, they went back to the old technology.
Right,
we had problems with the 103s doing that. And that's why but the thing is what I'm getting to is go talk to your engine builder. Go talk to these guys work on it. They're not going to tell you this, like what you guys are promoting. They're not going to tell you that crap. They're going to be like, hey, you got a bigger problem than that part right there if you got that happening to you. I couldn't get through these guys' head. They're putting $300 parts on their bikes that they don't need $300 parts on, just because somebody on YouTube or the internet told them it's the greatest thing ever.
Yeah, I know Harley put out a thing on the Milwaukee 8s about doing, I guess, a pattern where you put it up and you take the primary off and they put a pattern up and they drill a hole across for the pressure because they're sucking from one side to the other, you know, and that kind of stuff. And everybody's got a different solution. And in the end, you know, I got a guy who has been working on Harleys for 30 years. I'm going to do what he tells me. He's my guy. I'm going to go talk to him and say, here's what I got. What do you think I need to do?
Yeah. I mean, you don't go to the doctor and be like, I'm sick. And when he says something, be like, oh, no, I've read on the internet. This is what we got to do. It has nothing to do with what the problem is.
Yeah.
In the KLR world that I used to belong in, where I still belong in because I know my place in the world. So a KLR makes like 37 horsepower. They're 9 or 9.5 to compression. They're a big 650 single. They don't make power. And when I had so many people, because my bike, I had a jet kit and a full exhaust and a big bore kit. And literally the only reason I did big bore was to get rid of the oil consumption. And the full exhaust was just there to knock a couple pounds off. And that's all it was. I wasn't building for power. Guys will be like, well, how do I make my bike make 50 horsepower? I'm like, you fucking don't. Like buy a faster bike. Like, you can put a $400 carburetor on it, spend $500 porting your head, and, you know, put a high compression piston on it. Then you might have a bike that's pretty belligerent. But are you going to spend $2,500 to do all that shit when you could have went out and bought a KTM 690 that'll wax a KLR's ass all day? It's people. And that's it's like, so I'm real bad for this. The bike behind me is a very good fucking example. BMWs have final drive units. It's like a rear end in a car. There's no chain. It's a drive shaft and, you know, gears. And the 05, was it 04 to 09 or 05 to 09 were kind of notorious for blowing final drives apart, or the U-joints in the drive shaft coming apart and grenading the swing arm. And that when I bought that bike, I knew about that, but I didn't know about it like I do now. And I'm like, well, I got to spend $600 on a drive shaft so I can have it serviceable. And I'm going to have to spend another $500 to have the final drive rebuilt. But after I was talking to shitloads of people, they're like literally think of all the people out there that are enjoying their bike with no failures versus the hundreds of failures that you see online, kind of thing. And that's one big thing. Is I'm not saying don't take people's advice, but most of the time people blow so much smoke up other people's ass. It's just like
like people tell me, oh, the M8s have big problems. The M8s have big problems. They're a terrible design and everything else. Okay, everybody that's probably had a problem has put it online, and that's the 47 problems that are out there. Because I got at least 10 friends with M8s, and none of them have had the problem. So I don't know what the ratio for the problem really is. Right. And I'm not saying there's not a real, maybe a real legitimate problem, but is it 10% or is it 1%? You know, or is it a 0.5%? You know, that this whole pump issue and this and that. I know a lot of people running M8s that have friends of mine that bought bikes that are newer than mine. They're all M8s, and I don't know any of them that have had a failure that the motor is blowed up or anything else because of that. We had one guy one time we had to stop because he threw an engine light when he got on it. So we pulled over, he stopped, turned the bike off, turned it back on, the engine light went away.
Huh.
You know?
I mean, exactly what you're saying. I don't know if a lot of major problems with the new motors. It's not until we start pushing the limits of what that motor can do when we start having problems.
That's what I was going to say. A lot of times, again, bringing up the bike in the back, what I've noticed is a lot of people just either they don't pay attention or they you know, I'm sure you guys are pretty mechanically challenged. So you can tell when your bike has a different vibration or a different something's different. You can tell. And, you know, these people are like, well, my final drive just grenaded and, you know, locked up my rear wheel. And I'm thinking, number one, it's out of oil. So you should have oil on your wheel, or something should be giving a sign that you didn't pay attention to. But, one thing I've noticed is, just like you said, people are pushing their limits. Are they running the fire out of these? What are they doing to make these blow up?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I will say one bike that comes to mind that I know is problematic is, I think, 98 to 02 Yamaha R6s, Firecrackers. They're very notorious for blowing up second gear. Or, well, the way the dog bones are, they're not. I guess like the first to second gear jump is really far in the range. And so the dog bones just wear out, and then you lose second gear. But, that's the only bike I can think of off the top of my head out of all the bikes I've worked on and owned that I would legitimately not own because of that reason.
Yeah, I mean,
I got something for you guys real quick because you guys both have channels. I just had this on my channel, and if you start to see it on yours, you may want to nip it in the bud. I've seen it the last few days. I'm getting comments about cryptocurrency.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? And I remove them right away because today I had a comment on it, and I've been busy. It's been her birthday, and I had to mow the grass and shit like that. 18 replies to that comment, or 24 replies to that comment, all more spam comments about cryptocurrency. And, the reason I say delete it right away, though, is I don't know if you guys know who Monkey Butt is, but Monkey Butt's got a channel. He rides sport bikes and dirt bikes and stuff, but he got demonetized because YouTube said he had like some kind of traffic thing going on that was illegitimate and run his views and his stuff up. And so, when you get bots or something like that are putting these comments out, and then they're trying to create a conversation to do that, what you got to watch, though, is YouTube may see that bot traffic and think you're doing it to run up views or to run up something else with the algorithm, and it could be you that gets the strike. So when you get shit like that, make sure you report it, remove it, get it off your channel.
Well, you talk about that. The weird one I've started getting is random people commenting, and they'll say comment for algorithm.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah, delete that shit because you don't. What you want is you want natural growth. You want real people doing stuff. And if somebody's telling people to comment just to make your video, because YouTube does see that as interaction, but the other side of the coin is if you see the same kinds of comments on too many channels, YouTube will pick it up as spam, and then they'll start blocking that as spam. So if you got people that are doing that, say, hey, if you got a real comment, but don't do it because you think you're doing me a favor, because you could hurt me more than you could help me.
Right.
As somebody who I've been doing this 20 months and I don't have all the answers, don't get me wrong. I don't think I know it all, but I do some research on this, and I've seen other channels get demonetized and had problems, and I try and watch what's happened to them and learn from it. And, you don't want that. I mean, I think, some people refer to ScrewTube, and I do think there is some of that. I mean, YouTube says that if you put a video out, they'll promote it based on the quality of that video. It has nothing to do with your channel. That's a lie. I proved it. I did a video about something, and I put on my personal YouTube channel, and it got like 100 views in the first day. And that channel has like 20 subscribers, and it's not a motorcycle channel. But it was something that showed up in search. But it got like 100 views in, the first day. Then the next day I put the same exact video out on my Riding in the Ozarks channel, and it got 250 views in the first hour, and the video is the same exact video. So it's not no matter what YouTube says, and they may mean it to be, but it's not, they promote every video the same, no matter what channel puts it out. It's not, the reputation of your channel does have an effect on that and stuff, but that's by the same token, 18 or 24 replies on a cryptocurrency comment is not something I want on my channel. Yeah.
Yeah, we just broke 200 subscribers. Yeah. So we're a small channel.
Well,
I love it though, because I'm almost to a 1-to-1 on everything we release. 1-to-1 on my videos, which is awesome. It's an awesome ratio to have. And the fact that it's small, everybody interacts and we all talk and have a good time. That's the whole point. That was the whole point of starting this social media stuff, is to meet people when we travel to go do stuff.
Well, last year, me and April got to meet Ozark HD Riders, which, if you're a moto vlogger, you know who he is because he comments on everybody. He's like he's the grand champion of supporting moto vloggers.
He's right up there with Viper 6.
Yeah, but we get to go. He's close, so I got to go meet him in person, meet his wife. They came in, hung out with us at Bike Fest. You guys scoot over here in the camera, honey. Birthday girl.
Birthday girls. Happy birthday, Firecracker.
But we got to meet Ozark HD Riders last year, and we got to meet Sinister Clutch. He was in Arkansas, and he came up to Bike Fest to meet us. And then we went down. Yeah, awesome. Randy. He's a great guy. And I met Jordan, who has a channel, and he lives in the same town as me. And we didn't know each other until a year ago when I bought a dual sport. And then we went to Arkansas, and we got to meet some other channels. I had met the Henri one in Sturgis a year before that, before I actually started my channel. I knew he was. I met him there, but I met him again at Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue. I met Adam Sandoval once, but we hung out with Tommy G and PA Bearded Biker. They came down and hung out at Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue. Glide, Arkansas was there. We all stayed at the same motel. So we all sat out on the porch at front of my hotel room and drank moonshine. And that is, those are the kind of memories and experiences that are like a big part of why you do this, or why you continue to do this even when you're having a bad day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've met a lot of YouTubers already. We had a good time. We've had a bunch of them sign the tank when Miss Hellbelly there decided she was going to crash the lowrider. So our fix to that was, well, we'll have all these people sign while we're doing this, and once we're done, we'll take that tank and hang it on the wall, and there's our little memorabilia of the year. We
don't know anybody that's got a dented tank, do we?
I own a dented tank. Not on my HD, on my little 250. It's got a dented tank because somebody decided to hit my bike in the parking lot, and over she went, and the handlebars put a big old
Road Rash. I think you've been around long enough. Did you see April's wreck video last year this time?
No, I didn't. Have not watched that video because I will be honest, I don't like watching wreck videos. I don't like to see somebody go down. And speaking of which, I went riding with my cousin last Sunday, so a week ago, and he went down. And, we're both in our 50s, and he's been riding since he was a teenager. And anyways, we were just leaving his house, and we come up to the stop sign to turn on one of the main arteries of the roads here. And he pulls up beside me and he goes, I need to get gas at the gas station at the Chevron there. And I'm like, okay, you lead, I'll follow. He says, okay. He takes off and lays the bike down right in front of me, essentially. And I didn't even have the camera running because I took the camera with me, the GoPro with me, to go out and film this ride. And, he ended up laying the bike down in front of me, and he's got a 86 Electra Glide, and it's got a really skinny back tire. It's like I'd almost want to say a 130 or a 140 or something like that. It's a skinny back tire. And the dash on that it's almost like a Japanese bike dash on it. He says it's the one and only year they ever came out with that dash. But I kind of really wish I caught the footage or got the footage on my camera, because we really could have analyzed what went wrong, because there was no sand, no oil, no gravel, no nothing. It's just the bike just went out from underneath him. He was making a right-hand turn, the thing went down on him. He ended up getting his lower leg caught between the timing cover, the floorboard, and the pavement, and it crushed his leg. I got the bike up. He was able to pull out. We got the bike up and whatnot, put off the side. He was limping around. He's hurting pretty bad. I'm like, okay, are you still okay to ride? He says to me, yeah, man, I want to ride. I'm like, okay. So we go ride. And then later on, he ends up breaking his clutch cable. His clutch cable fails on him. So we still continue to ride. So he had to limp the bike home. So we get home and whatnot. And he can't walk on his leg. So I push the bike into the garage for him and whatnot. He takes his boot off. He's like, thank God I was wearing boots. He takes his boot off. His right ankle's just swollen. He goes to bed that night. He gets up the next morning. His leg's just killing him. So he ends up going into the hospital, and they do an X-ray on his lower tibia, and he ends up having a spiral fracture on his lower tibia from getting caught in between the timing cover, the floorboard, and the pavement. Right, and that's pretty painful. That's a lot of weight coming down because he never really kicked the bike away from him as he went down. He just went down with the bike because it happened so fast. There was just no time. It was almost instantaneous, right? And he hasn't ridden that bike in 2 years, and the air pressure is low, but he did pump up the tires, but he thinks that the rubber might have gone hard on him, so therefore it was cold tires, hard rubber, and just no grip. And that's the only thing that we can think of why he laid the bike down the way, because you should have never laid the bike down in that sense, right? It was just one of those odd things that just happened.
Well, and that's too bad you didn't have the camera on, because you might be able to use it as a educational moment. When April's accident, when she had her accident, she was, before the EMTs even got there, I had turned all the GoPros off. I knew they were on and that we had something, but I didn't know what we had. And I said, I don't know that we want to put this on YouTube. I said, because there's a lot of people on YouTube, they're going to be like, you fucked up, you had an accident,
exactly.
And they're going to be very critical and stuff. And she's like, if I could, I said, we looked at the footage and we talked about it, and I said, we could maybe make a video out of it, and we could take the approach of, we don't know exactly why it happened, but here's what happened.
Yeah.
Trying to make people aware that it could happen to anybody, anytime, anywhere, road conditions.
Any place, right?
Yeah, she ran into some road. She ran wide into a curve.
Yeah.
But road conditions, there was a bunch of pea gravel. It was across the apron of another road coming in for an intersection. There was no painted white line.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why she lost her line or whatever. But she got into pea gravel, and you couldn't tell there was pea gravel there until I run my foot through it. And then you could see the color of it change.
Yeah.
It had been sitting there so long, it was like baked into the pavement, but it was pea gravel.
Yeah.
And so we took it as a teaching moment. And she's had a lot of people who have thanked her for making that video. Because they thought we did it in a way to help try and educate other people so that they don't have the same thing, or so that they're careful, and they, this could happen to anybody in a blink of an eye.
At any time, right? And it can, right? And that's the thing about going down. Like, you just never know when it may or may not happen. And it can be on the simplest thing, like it was for my cousin. We were stopped at a stop sign. He was on the left of me. I was at the right. And he pulls up, like I said, beside me and goes, okay, I need to go get gas. I'm like, okay, you lead. So he takes off from my left side and does a right-hand turn. And it's not even that tight. He takes, and it's a long swooping turn. He stays on his side of the road or whatnot, because there's actually 4 lanes. You got 2 lanes going one way, 2 lanes going the other way, 0 traffic coming. He just takes off, and all of a sudden I looked him over my left shoulder to see where traffic is. All of a sudden, out of my right ear, I'm hearing metal scraping on the ground. I look back, and he's sliding along the ground. I'm like, what the fuck did you just do, dude? Like, it was the weirdest thing, right? Because he wasn't even taking off fast or anything, right? It's not like he lit it up and was like, oh, try to keep up with me kind of thing, or showboating or anything. He was just taking off on a normal, the bike didn't sound like it was doing anything abnormal. He was just taking off and making a right-hand turn, right? So, yeah, like I said, I kind of wish I had the GoPro running at that time, because he sat there. I talked to him, I'd say, when was it I talked to him on Friday, so the Friday after the Sunday, and he says to me, he goes, man, I just been running that situation over my head just over and over and over again. He goes, I can't figure out what the hell went wrong, why I laid the bike down there on that such a simple turn, right? So and like I said, the first thing I did was looking at the pavement. There's no gravel, no nothing, no oil. There's just, there's not even a tar snake to run over to lose traction. It's just, the only thing I could think of is just hard rubber.
Read the comments.
Hard, right? So.
Didn't mean to interrupt you, but we have.
Yeah.
The comments.
Oh.
It's a friend of me and Jordan's. He's actually Backroad Traveler. He rides a KLR. He's got a small channel too, probably smaller than all of us. He's just getting started, but he's if you want to check him out, he's on a KLR, and he said he nearly dropped his KLR 2 minutes ago trying to listen to us while running to the gas station.
Yeah.
So tip 1, don't listen to YouTube while riding.
I heard him.
Don't listen to us idiots while riding.
I heard him go by and tootle his horn trumpet earlier, and it's funny because, like, KLRs have their own sound, and I could hear him coming up the road. And I'm like, well, there's Matt. Down, I heard beep, 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 and I heard him go down the road. I'll tell you what, I about ate shit hard 2 days ago, 3 days ago. I don't know what the hell. It was one of those weird moments. I come into a corner out there by Love's Truck Stop, and my whole bike just slid. Like I was mid corner, it's just like it went like that. I'm like, what the hell? Can't say I've ever had that happen.
Yeah, I mean, and that's kind of what happened to her. She got into like pea gravel in the corner. And out here in Missouri, they're literally, if you go back and watch that video of April's accident, we went back to the accident scene, and I show where I rake my foot through the pea gravel, and you look at the pavement and you don't tell there's pea gravel till I rake my foot through it. And then you can see where I drag my foot across there, and it just changes from black to brown where the dirt is underneath the pea gravel. And it's like riding on marbles.
The first time I ate shit on a bike, I was on, this would have been somewhere in 2019. I was on a V-Strom 650, and I was up in St. Louis on a little curvy 2-lane, and just a sudden downpour. And usually when it rains, I'll stick my boot and push on the ground and see how kind of slick it is. And it just make myself feel better kind of thing. And I'm like, man, that is like slicker than ice. Well, I came into this corner and I was using my rear brake, and it locked like super easy. I'm like, fuck, that's really slick. I came into the corner, I was on the rear brake, and I grabbed a little bit of front. I'm like, just kind of let it go because I'm like, I can't, like I got no brakes. I'm gonna slide out. And I turned. I remember feeling that back, and I just went woo like that. I'm like, here we go. The bike slid off. I mean, it was, I don't know, 30 mile an hour, but it was enough to scare the daylights out of you, I guess.
We have a lot of pea gravel here. They use it for traction in the winter on the roads and stuff. Put out like salt cinders and stuff, and it's mixed in with that. And
don't clean it up after?
No, they don't clean it up after. They wait for spring showers to wash it off the road, or it stays there. And that's part of the problem.
The only problem with pea gravel is I don't notice it. So the only time I notice it is if there's a whole lot. But if there's gravel in the road and I'm mid corner, like it barely even faces my kind of bike.
There is someone who is a lot more attentive to everything in the road for the last year now. Yeah. I mean, if I go into a corner and I see gravel, I know I can feel her like prepare because she sees it too. Where before she didn't notice, she wasn't looking for it. Wow. She's riding on the back behind me. She trusts me. She's not paying attention to the road conditions. That's my job, and she's relaxed and having a good time. For the last year since she's had that accident, she is paying much closer attention to the road conditions and everything all the time, even when she's not riding her own. And I can tell when she sees stuff or notices stuff, just the way her body language is. We got a few more commenters in here.
I just commented.
87 Ricer. He's local, Jordan, too. 87 Ricer. Well, local is in central Missouri. He's up around the Herman area.
Oh, yeah.
He goes to the toy run. He's actually seen my bike in person and stuff, and he'll be at Bike Fest this year.
Nice.
Norman L. said something about Bike Fest earlier. He'll be there. Looking
What's
forward.
Bike Fest?
What's Bike Fest?
Yeah.
It is the largest motorcycle rally in the state of Missouri. Last year we had, I want to say, didn't they say there was 150,000 motorcycles?
That's a lot. That's all I know.
It was the biggest year we've had yet, and we had it. Lake of the Ozarks is a tourist town. It's at the lake, so in the winter they have no money, and then they've got 6 months out of the year to make all their money and make their businesses float for the year. So when COVID hit, they were kind of like, fuck that, and they stayed open anyway. They made national news at Lake of the Ozarks on Memorial Day weekend last year because people were swimming in swimming pools and not social distancing.
Oh, yeah.
They made a big stinking deal out of it on national media, and we really didn't see any particular actual COVID cases or anything spike because of it.
Then they made news for Bike Fest, too.
Yeah, and then we made the news for Bike Fest because we had 100,000 bikers show up. Nobody wore a mask because Lake of the Ozarks sheriff came out blatantly and said there is no law that I can enforce that requires anyone to wear a mask, and I will not be enforcing any mask mandates or writing any tickets or anything else. Y'all do what you want.
I mean,
Because there wasn't a law.
Said that.
well,
Yeah.
and if they didn't have it, that's one of their biggest. They only have certain big events like that. So if they don't have it, then that could kill every business down there. They've still been hurt by the COVID and had some restaurants on the strip closed because of it. So
So do you know what Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue is in Fayetteville, in Arkansas? Okay, so Bike Fest is always the weekend before Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue. And they're literally a couple 100 miles apart. So a lot of people in this area go to both. And that's what me and April have started calling our bikecation. So we take off on Wednesday, go to Bike Fest for 3 or 4 days. Then we usually go to southern Missouri, like Branson or somewhere where it's a lake and they have shows and stuff and resorts. And we stay there for a couple of days kind of for us. And then we show up at Bikes, Blues, Barbecue on Wednesday or Thursday and stay down there till Sunday. And then we head home and go back to work. So that's kind of our big week and a half vacation. And we do 2 rallies and we get away and do stuff for ourselves in between. But that's what Bike Fest is. So if you're looking for something to do in September, come to Bike Fest and then just hit Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue on your way back to Texas.
Or wherever we're at, because we don't know. We're doing all 48 states this year. That's the thing.
Well, September is a really good time to come. Late September. Bike Fest is usually close to the middle of the month, and then Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue is the next weekend. But they're always a week apart. They have been for years. So.
Yeah, I know in end of July, we're doing that world record poker run. And then we're doing Sturgis, and then we're going to go run West Coast, and then come back across the country to the East Coast. So we got like 3 weeks of hard riding.
Yeah.
Right
if you're coming, Sturgis will end about 12th or somewhere in there.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll be about a month later when we'll be doing Bike Fest.
Yeah, I haven't got a mugshot in that town, so
I'd love to go to Sturgis one year. We'll be opening those borders up soon, anyways. So,
as you'll see if you check our stuff out, my catchphrase is "Raise hell, make bell."
If you find yourself in Missouri needing a bail bondsman, holler. I got a guy. He's licensed for the whole state of Missouri. He rides motorcycles. He cannot advertise discounts, but if you are a motorcyclist, he will be a lot more likely to work with you.
Well, it's because I'm the guy. I don't even have to be drunk. I'm just the guy. You say, "Well, you can't do that," and I'm like, "Well, watch this."
hold my fictional beer.
Yes.
Hold your balls while I go get on it.
Yeah. Last time that happened, the main drag or whatever down in Key West, I forget what the name of that street is, where like all these highfalutin people were, because my bike's super loud, and so you piss me off, I'm gonna do a wheelie and be all the way down through Key West for me. Yeah, it was with the better looking one on the back too. That's the first time she's ever been on a wheelie. We went through Key West.
Hells on 2 Wheels. April's subscribing to Hells on 2 Wheels right now.
I'm just reading 87 Ricer's comment there. He hates riding at night. I kind of agree with you because headlights are a real pain in the ass. But sometimes riding at night is also it's good experience. If you've never ridden at night, it's also really good experience in seat time, because the more seat time you get in different conditions, it just makes you a better rider, in my opinion.
Yeah, where 87 Ricer's coming from here with the creatures, and we're in the same area. I mean, he lives within 100 miles of me, but the terrain and the types of roads that we have around here are the same.
Yeah, I can see that you're like deer and whatever.
Right.
Wildlife.
We've actually lost there was a friend to me, and I don't know if he knew him or anything, but he was from about 40 miles away, but he hit a deer at night, and it was the end of him. And we've had that several times. We've lost at least 2 or 3 riders in this area. to deer. So
Yeah, that's just
Tracker.
a no gooder. I rode on went over to Vancouver Island, and if you know any geography about the west coast of Canada, shit, I went over to Vancouver Island, and I'm riding through a nice treed area,
Yeah.
but all of a sudden pops up this sign that says elk in the area, and I'm like, oh, would not want to hit one of them in the daytime, you know.
Yeah, it's and we have armadillo, which are not terribly big, but you still, I mean,
Big
you
enough.
don't hit an armadillo if you can help it. You know,
Yeah.
they're not. It's not going to be pretty. I had a friend.
I try not to hit squirrels even on my bike.
Well, the least for my worries around
yeah,
here.
I'll break for a squirrel even.
I'll flatten the squirrel. It's the turkey and the deer and shit that I worry about. I mean, dogs.
Yeah.
We did. Who was with us when we ran into the dog over at St. James?
That was Jeff's true, and it went back in on all you, and then it come back out as I was going past.
Yeah, there was 4 of us on Truman Day, which is May 8th. We did a ride, and dog come running out as I was in the lead, and you know, I know how to slow down, then speed up and break their speed so that you can get around them usually, and they can't intercept you. But then I got 3 people behind me I got to worry about, you know, and he's going to try to intercept them, and he's already out there by the time they're coming across. So they all got through okay. But Jordan, I'm thinking I'm going to go back with the DR 650. And you know those tank bags I have? I'm going to put wasp spray in them, and I'm going to go by that house when that dog comes out there and I'm on the DR 650. I'm going to hit him with that 15-foot spray of wasp spray right in the fucking eyeballs.
Yeah. Well, the last time he does that.
Hopefully.
Well, if it's not the last time, then I'll stop and have a talk with his owner.
Yeah.
And if I can't get to the house without killing the dog, then that'll be the end. That'll be everybody's solution.
Well, I mean,
so I got a couple things to say real quick. The first thing is riding at night. I do lots of it because I've got really bad anxiety and I don't sleep worth a shit half the time. There's a lot of times I wake up at 1, 2 a.m. and I'll go hit back roads or trails. And trails at night are scary as shit because you're in the middle of nowhere and it's like there's a mountain lion out here somewhere watching me, kind of thing.
And they're actually, you got to worry about bear now. We're over bear season again.
But riding at night, the best time to do it, honestly, if you can do it, is before the sun comes up. Like I love, 4 or 5 a.m. rides. Them are my absolute favorites. But yeah, just I ride towards the center of the road at night. That way I've got room on each side to get out of out of whatever's way. And the other thing I was going to say, the dog, my buddy Chris, it's been a couple years ago. He rides a KLR, and his buddy was in front of him, and the dog went out after the front guy, and Chris was looking in his mirror or doing something, and I guess the dog hit the front tire, and it threw Chris over. Chris blacked out. They don't know what happened. But as far as we can tell from the damage of the KLR, the bike, Chris had to go over the handlebars, and the bike followed him and landed on Chris because things were bent or broken, but there's zero thing showing that it hit the pavement where things should have hit the pavement and had obvious marks. And it screwed him up bad. He didn't walk for months, and he had to go through all that physical therapy shit just because of a dog. And it killed the dog. And the owner,
you guys sound like because I'm originally from West Virginia, so the nighttime riding is big risk.
Yeah.
But in the same sense, I mostly ride at night because there's not a lot of traffic, and I can lay down a bunch of miles and get somewhere. So if I'm riding across country, I'm usually a nighttime rider. I mean, but at the same time, what I found with because the new headlights, god dang, they want to freaking low beams is 3 miles. You can see it for 3 miles on a low beam. So I'll actually use my less tinted visor in my full face, the nighttime ride, because I can still see fine, and it takes that glare out of those LEDs. That's my little thing that I use, nighttime ride. But at the same time, back at home in West Virginia, bear, turkey, deer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we had a friend who he's been trying to get a fiance over here from the Philippines for 2 years, and because of COVID, he had a big delay, and he just got her over here a couple of weeks ago, and he took her out on his Harley, and they hit a freaking turkey. He stayed up, but the turkey didn't survive. But yeah, those are legitimate things around here, like 87's talking about with the nightlife and the creatures. People hit deer, they hit turkey, they hit dogs, and the dogs are the thing that kind of the deer and the turkey. They're wildlife. You can't blame them, but the dogs are somebody's pet that they're not keeping put up or keeping out of the road, and that's a problem.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or the night walkers.
The crackheads. Yeah. We get them all the time. Those guys they'll walk out in the middle of traffic, no F's given, man. They'll be like, yeah, you hit me. I get money. It's like, no, you're going to be dead, dumbass.
Yeah. Crackheads don't tend to walk out in traffic around here because people will fucking run them over and leave them here and nobody will say nothing.
Yeah, no, they're here. They do it purposely.
Yeah, they don't.
I just
Got
passed
too many rednecks with big jacked up 4-wheel drives.
Yeah, where I'm from, it's like, ooh, bright lights, and they start walking towards you. It's like,
Yeah. I kind of feel that way sometimes on a bike when I'm riding and I get a car coming at me. It's really bright LEDs. It's almost like I'm like a deer stuck in the headlights. It's like I have to pull myself away from that vehicle because I'm almost drawn towards it, right?
Oops.
That's why I use that visor. I'm telling you, people are like, I don't see how you can ride at night with that visor down. I was like, you go with all the bright lights coming on the road, you can see plain as day. And then somebody used it the other day, and they're like, "Yeah, you're right." I was like, "Yeah," because I'm telling you, man. What's funny is the headlight on my Harley. I love it because people actually flash their lights. Like I'm wearing my high beams, and then I put my high beams on, and it's like they put real quick. They lower their lights. Like, oh shit, okay.
Yeah, I had a vendor contact me about doing a headlight review, and I had a headlight I bought in 2016 when I first got my Street Glide that was a JW speaker that was like comparable to the Harley Daymaker at the time. Yeah. And I just didn't realize how far technology had come in 5 years. That Daymaker was a little over 1,000 lumens, and I got this new headlight, and it's like 3,200 lumens on low beam.
Yeah, that thing's bright as hell.
I did a video on it, and for $100 headlight, it's a serious improvement. But like you say, people are going to have glare or whatever else riding into it.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan's relocating on us, I think.
Yeah, he's going upstairs.
Looks like he's going to tell us a ghost story right now.
Nope. Now I'm at my home.
He's upstairs in his house.
Yep. My ass was hurting on that stupid shop chair.
But yeah, it just catches like our channel is mostly us just laying the miles down. We're not around the block or just down the road type. We'll take off cross country, run, shoot. What was the last time we did 7 states in 3 days? Yeah.
Well, I don't know if 9mm James is still in the chat. He commented a little while ago about Bike Fest being a blast. That was the first time we got to meet them. They had been following the channel, and they came to Bike Fest and hung out with us for a meet and greet. And then we all went down the street. There's a bike show that takes place at the local gentleman's club, although there are probably no gentleman patrons there. They have one of the support clubs has a bike show there at the strip club, and then everybody hangs out in the parking lot. But if you want mixed drinks, you have to go inside. You can't get them in the parking lot. You only get beer in the parking lot. So the air conditioning, of course, is inside. So everybody kind of hangs out outside, goes inside for a little while, goes outside. But we had a lot of fun there. It's a good time.
Yeah, when my motor blew up, Friday to Monday morning or whatever. Yeah, within that time frame, we did 2,587 miles. I was trying for the 3,000 mile mark, but the motor wouldn't hang.
James said, "Oh yeah, boobies."
Yep.
Yeah, the strip club. It's
Well,
it's not definitely not a high class place there at the Lake of the Ozarks, but we have a lot of fun. Either way, it's just a matter of wanting to have
It
fun.
was better than Topless Tuesday.
Yeah. Have you guys been to Topless Tuesday in Sturgis yet?
Well, Lady House.
Did you go back for? Did you go back for No Panty Wednesday?
No,
We did.
Wednesday.
There's no way we were going back after that.
she likes to partake in the Topless Tuesday.
Well, the little bar in Wyoming up there has Topless Tuesday, and we lost Jordan. I'll put him back in here, but we went to whatever town it was in Wyoming. It's looks like a barn they turn into a bar for 1 week, and we went there for Topless Tuesday, and they had No Panty Wednesday, and Topless Tuesday was so great we decided we would skip out on No Panty Wednesday.
Yeah, definitely.
Sure, it wasn't C-section Thursday.
Weight loss reduction surgery on Friday.
Yeah. No, last year was her first time in Sturgis, and she's just as wild and crazy as I am. If you hang out with us, you'll never know what you'll see.
Well, I can't go to Sturgis and not partake in it.
Yeah, that was her attitude. I can't go to Sturgis not partaking Topless.
I can't be 80 years old and say, well, I was one young once and I done it.
Yeah.
I'm good.
So she partaked in Topless Tuesday, and now she's already planning on stuff for this year.
The rally we will be at next weekend is going to be a little more extreme than Topless Tuesday. It's an old school biker rally, 18 and older to get in. It's adults only. What happens at the rally stays at the rally. There will be, we'll probably do a video on it, but we'll do from a distance. No, only people that will show up close are people that consent, that we know, that are okay, that know we have a YouTube channel. But there will be things on there that I definitely could not put on YouTube, or I would probably get blackballed right away. I'm not just talking demonetized. I'm talking like canceled.
So you're talking like a good field party type of stuff.
Oh yeah, we got field events, bike shows, we got live bands. It's on a private campground. We do not allow law enforcement in the gates. If we have a problem and someone has to be removed from the property, we escort them out to the gate and then hand them over to law enforcement to deal with, or whatever, if it's required. For example, if they pulled a gun on someone or some stupid shit like that. But we don't let law enforcement in the property under no circumstances. If someone has a medical condition, we have our own EMT staff on hand. We take them out with a golf cart to the EMT at the gate. Nobody comes into the property. It's old school. It is called the Freedom Rally for a reason. Feel free to do what you want as long as you're not hurting anyone else.
That's my type of place to go.
Well, Memorial Day.
I wish we had that in Canada. That's one thing that we don't really have. Like, we'll have bike shows and Harley Davidson will put on this and that, but we don't have like those big freedom rallies or the big bike fests and stuff like that, where the vendors all come out and everybody all rides out and has a good time and goes camping and whatnot, right? That's just something that Canada really lacks when it comes to the motorcycle industries. We just don't go out all the way like you guys do down in the States.
Well, this rally is pretty small. It's been going on 32 years, but it'll be 2,000 or 3,000 people. It's not a Sturgis type event. We don't have a Glencoe campground. It'd be like going to a campground in Sturgis and staying there for 3 days and everything happening there.
Yeah,
it's that
I'd
kind
like
of
to see
thing.
stuff like that happen around here, but as it is right now with motorcycles, the big city from where I live that I'm part of, well, I mind you, I'm in a suburb, I'm in a different city, but the big city, Vancouver, BC, where the Vancouver Canucks are from, right now the cops there, they're just being real dicks to any motorcyclists. They're just handing out vehicle inspections to everybody. If your bike is stocked, you're still getting a vehicle inspection, and they'll write you up for whatever they think that is. So you literally have to take time out of your day and go to court to fight it, because if you got a stock bike, they'll say, "Oh, your bike is too loud." It's like, well, it's stock and it complies to our Motor Vehicle Act here in the country. Doesn't matter. We're writing you up. So now I got to take this ticket to court and take taking time out of my day because these guys want to write me up a ticket and stuff like that. So, yeah, there's a lot of guys right now getting vehicle inspections. And I just read an article, or somebody posted an article. I think it's kind of honestly think it's a fake article, but the Vancouver Police Department is basically handing out noise violation tickets to anybody that buys a brand new Harley Davidson off the lot. I'm like, no, you can't be doing that. That's against their constitutional rights right there. Like,
well, and that's the thing, you know, I don't know what you guys got going in Canada, but like here in Missouri, and me and April are a big part of it. You see that flag over her shoulder there?
Yep.
That's Freedom of Road Riders. That's the largest motorcycle rights organization in the state of Missouri. Most states have ABATE. So
you guys got
on Two Wheels knows probably what ABATE is.
Yeah.
CORE is the ABATE of Missouri. We're the big dog in Missouri instead of ABATE, and there's a whole history of why and what. But it's essentially the same thing. But if we got cops in Missouri to start doing that shit, CORE would be all over the congressmen, the senators. They would be, you know, knocking on doors in the Capitol building. You know, shit would be coming down about that. We have here in the U.S., MRF has a website where you can go and report if you think you've been profiled.
Yeah.
Make a complaint, and they follow up on it with that law enforcement agency, you know, whatever it is.
Well, I'm just waiting for them to pull me over. Like, well, I don't go to that city too much. I stay in my own city, and here the police don't really give a fuck, but I'm just waiting to get pulled over and have them try and write me up for vehicle inspection because my bike is as stock as it gets.
But here's my advice. This is what I live by. They can't ticket you if you don't stop. Okay?
Yeah, well, they can't take it if you don't stop. But if they do, but you gotta remember, all cops have computers now in their cars, and it don't take much to look at your license plate and type in your address, and then wait till you get home.
Mistake number 2, you run the license plate.
I got stories for this. All right. She knew the routine. I'd come in, and if I was revving the crap out of my motor before I hit the driveway, it means get the garage door open because they're coming.
This is great.
And they would sit outside of our house waiting for me to leave.
This is true.
They tried forever to try to catch me.
Hey, Road Rash, how did you get your display picture full screen like that?
You got to run a program called OBS. Yeah, you can't do it without a program called OBS, which is Open Broadcaster software.
Gotcha.
So I can change it at any time. I can just switch it up to whatever I want. I want Bobby Doug McKenzie. I can be a Dutch Canadian. Yeah, I can just change it at any time. I am Canadian. I can just change it anytime. So you have to basically, right? So I can even run my desktop too, right? So there's a desktop, right? So yeah, you have to run a program called OBS, and then in OBS you have to have another program that's called Virtual Camera, and that basically runs you can put any picture you want.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you can't do it within StreamYard.
But yeah, I looked at that for streaming because you can do like the whole streaming on it, but it seemed a lot more complicated than StreamYard.
It is actually quite complicated to set it up, but the problem is if you're using OBS, for instance, to do like a live stream, you can't add people unless you're using another program to add them in. Like, say, for instance, what's that virtual phone call thing that it's Skype? Like, you can use Skype and stuff like that. But StreamYard straight up is just good. This program here allows me to, when I set up virtual camera, under your camera microphone settings, you would pick virtual camera, and then that takes your OBS and then applies it, right? So I can turn off my, like, for instance, if I do this and I go here and I go to, where is it? Is it even here? No, it's not even here. It's not even, but yeah, I can turn off my OBS camera and it would change it up, right? So
We just lost him. I think his device not connected.
Well, I'm gonna say thank you for having me on.
Yeah, it's after 10 and we got work tomorrow.
It's after 11 here, so.
All right. Well, thanks for joining in, Hills. Keep doing what you're doing, man. We'll be watching you.
Yeah, just keep your eye on the FBI website, local post offices. You'll see me.
Local post office here is kind of already reserved. I've got like an 8x10 billboard out.
I'm the guy behind the counter. They're like, yeah, Tim, get him. No,
All right, man.
you guys have a good evening.
You too.
All right, see you. Hell on two wheels.
I got you back in, Road Rash. We lost you in there.
Yeah, it. When I changed it up, it was like, nope, not having any of that. So
87 Ricer said he'd been listening to my videos all week. So I want to give him a shout out and say thank you. He's, like I said, he's a Missouri guy, and we've chatted a little bit and stuff. So, thanks for the support. And he's been doing mostly Instagram. So if you guys do Instagram, he drives over the road. He has talked about maybe doing short videos or doing stuff. And I've been, I kind of encouraged him to just start doing stuff because,
does he not have a YouTube channel?
I don't know if I think he may have a channel, but I don't know if he's put a lot of content out yet.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
But I told him, basically your worst videos are going to be your first videos. So just do them. Get it over with. Don't worry about it. Don't be, you're not going to get comfortable being on camera until you do it more and more and more
and more. Exactly. It's my first couple of videos, I used like this free editing software that was not easy to use before I finally purchased an editing software program. Because my
computer, using Filmora or what are you using?
No, I'm using Vegas.
See, I've been using Adobe Premiere Elements. I started out with Filmora a little bit, and I just went to Premiere Elements, and I just go to Premiere, but I just don't have the time to learn to use the interface because it's more complicated than I think I need.
Yeah,
so what I've really found is content. The topic is king. You can do fancy transitions and you can do all kinds of shit. But if you're talking about crap people don't care about, it doesn't matter how good it is cinematic.
Yeah. No, I don't use the Adobe because you have to pay a monthly subscription and stuff for it.
Mm-hmm.
So I just stay away from the Adobe. I use, like I said, Vegas Movie Maker. If you want to use a really good, powerful, free one, you can use that. What the heck's it called? Blackmagic.
DaVinci, I think.
DaVinci, yeah, it's from Blackmagic. That make the Blackmagic pocket cinema cameras. It's a powerful program for their free program.
I tried it and I could never get it to work on my computer, and I've got a high-end Dell computer, and
it won't.
Every time I would load it up, it would crash.
It would crash, exactly. That's why I don't use it, because it did the same with me. And I think what it is you may not have enough RAM.
Oh, I got enough RAM, bro. I got like a $3,000 or $4,000 PC because I use it for other shit that makes me money. YouTube. But I've got like 32 gig of RAM and i7 processor. I far exceed their video and hardware requirements, and it's still something about it was a software conflict or something with other software I had, and it crashed every time. So 87 Ricer does have a channel. He's got 33 subscribers, so he needs a little love. So I'm gonna try and put a link to his channel in here.
Put a link to his channel.
But he did some videos. I know he was up at Magic Dragon when we were up there and stuff. So we'll see if we can get a.
I'm still trying to push my way to. Well, I'm at 954 now. I'm pushing my way to 1,000 slowly.
You weren't probably on here earlier. I was a little surprised, but today I crossed 4,000.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm at 4,005 tonight. We went out and went over to April's house earlier today and did some stuff for her birthday, and I weed eated her yard for her birthday, and I bought her a nice full face helmet.
You didn't mow it though.
I didn't mow it. She mowed her own yard, but I came over and weeded it, and then I bought her a nice helmet. So hey, the Badgers are in here. Happy birthday! They said, "Hey, that's Sonny and Angie." So we got to meet the Badgers a few weeks ago, Road Rash.
Nice. There, I'll give you a sub there, Racer. I got another sub, so we'll help grow your channel, get you up there.
Yeah, throw 87 Ricer out there. What's up, party people?
I was trying to find it. How did you
just go to the chat and click the link? I just put a link in there to him, right up there. But He's local and he's not really been on the camera yet but he's like been recording stuff. And I told him just
Hey,
start
just
doing
takes
stuff.
time.
It'll grow
takes
and
time,
you'll get there when you're ready.
It all takes time, man. Don't expect to be an overnight sensation. Only some people have got that luxury.
I bet I know who you're talking about. One or two of them.
Yeah.
So the Badger's in here. Wind Road Therapy's in here. So thanks. And it's great to see, people supporting each other. 87 Riser has been supporting me, for probably a year now. He's commented here and there. And now he's been watching stuff and, messaged me on Instagram. And, if you guys don't know, I've got Riding in the Ozarks on Facebook, Instagram. April had my TikTok channel, but I don't think she's been doing much with it because she started her own.
I didn't do a TikTok.
Oh, you didn't do?
Yeah, I don't do the TikToks. I just do the Instagrams. I really don't even link anything Facebook wise to my riding. Like my Instagram's more my riding, and then my Facebook's my personal.
Well, I have a personal Facebook, and then I have a Facebook page.
Yeah,
not an account, but a page for Riding in the Ozarks.
I find that Facebook is where you go to kill your channel. To be honest with you, I have not really gotten a whole lot of.
You know what? I grew my channel to the first 1,000. Probably at least half of the views and subscribers came from Facebook.
Yeah, I've gotten don't get me wrong. I have gotten views and subscribers from Facebook, but to me, doesn't. Yeah, I don't know. I've seen a lot of channels just not make it using Facebook. Unfortunately, I've actually surpassed channels that have been using primary Facebook, and they'll post their videos on that hashtag support motovloggers.
Yeah,
and they're just not growing at all, unfortunately, because if you're not in their little clique,
what you got to remember when you're using Facebook is, for one, it's a different audience, so you want to post videos that will be of interest to that different audience.
Yeah.
It kind of make sure you're not just throwing everything over there, but so here in Missouri, there are We Ride groups. We Ride Missouri. We Ride is a national one. And then there's We Ride Arkansas and there's We Ride Oklahoma. And so what I would do is if I had like a video about Bike Fest that people in this area would be interested in, I would post that because it was relevant. When the helmet law thing became a big issue for us last summer, I posted information. I did a video about the helmet law, what was going on, because people were riding without a helmet before the law came into effect. And I did a video about it and I explained what the law was going to be and when it went into effect and everything else. And I put that on social media and people went nuts over it and shared it all over the place. And I got a lot of followers from that because I provided them with something that was informational, that was relevant to the people in this area. And that's what I say about using it the right way. Facebook does have more drama. Don't get me wrong, but I've gotten some drama on YouTube too. So it's just be conscientious and don't necessarily blast everything on Facebook. But I had a lot of people who personally followed me on Facebook for motorcycle stuff before I started the channel. And then when I started, my Riding in the Ozarks channel, I basically told people, if you want the motorcycle stuff, you're going to have to go over there because eventually I'm going to not put it on my personal stuff and it's only going to be over there. And I've been, for the last year, slowly weaning people over there. If you want the motorcycle stuff, I posted over there. Every once in a while, I'll share something on my personal page and say, hey, this is on this channel if you want more of this stuff.
Yeah. Whoa, don't be foaming, beer. Whoa. What do you think you're doing? Jeez. Into the glass. Oh, my goodness. It started foaming as soon as I cracked the top.
And 87 Ricer, you're welcome. Riding Fish, thank you.
Hey, if you don't mind, Ozark, go ahead and throw my link up there too to my channel since I don't have a Blue Ranch and I can't do it myself.
I can do that. I'll go find you. I don't mind sharing the love. I've been subscribed for a long time.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm just trying to get. I'm so close, man. I finally.
What are you at?
I'm at 954 right now. So.
954. So he needs 46 loves.
Yeah, 46 subs, and once I hit that number, then I'll be happy.
I'll tell you. I don't know if monetization's a concern for you, or being able to
I
do
can
live
monetize.
on mobile.
I can monetize anytime I want now. I have the hours. I'm like way above the hours needed.
Right. So once you hit the 1,000, you can monetize.
Yeah,
They will
exactly.
turn the monetization on in a matter of days. Like a couple of days, you'll be monetized. What they will not do is turn on live streaming from video for probably a week or two, unless they fix that. The
Yeah.
last time when I hit 1,000, it was like right before, it was a month before Bike Fest. And I was really actually worried about being able to live stream at Bike Fest from my mobile device. And it took them 2 weeks or more before I got the live stream ability on the mobile device. But I was monetized and making money. You know, they did just all the things that you're supposed to get
when you hit 1,000.
Don't all happen at the same time.
Yeah, like I want to be able to do the shorts as well, the little shorts videos, be able to post pictures on YouTube and stuff like that. Get those extra little things.
The community stuff happens at 1,000 also.
Yeah,
but, shorts, you don't have shorts yet?
No, you don't get shorts until after you hit 1,000.
No, here in the US you do.
Oh, do you?
Yeah,
no,
you
up here I have. Yeah, I don't have.
Yeah, they're rolling it out over a phase. So April actually was, teasing me because she got shorts before I did, and she's only 137 subscribers.
Yeah, no,
Jordan
I can't
got shorts before I did, and then
I can't do shorts yet.
My first shorts video was actually filmed at Jordan's shop because I actually got it on the way to his shop. I was checking it every couple of hours to see if I got it yet, and then I got to his shop. I'm like, hey, I can do a short. He's like, oh, cool, let's play with it. He'd already done it some, so he showed me how to use it.
Yeah. No, I can't do shorts. The only way I can do shorts if I just film something and then put hashtag short and then upload it like you would normally upload it.
Right. That's what you can do if you don't have it actually in the app yet.
Yeah.
But they are rolling it out. At least here in the US, you do not have to be 1,000 subscribers to get it.
Yeah. You see up here, because I'm in Canada, I'm in a different demographic. They haven't opened up that option for us yet. But soon, like I said, I'm slowly getting there. I've got 5,917 public hours watched, and now it says I have 956 subscribers. So yeah, I'm slowly.
The watch hours. You said you're at 5,000 something.
Yeah, almost. I'm creeping in on 6,000 now. So
when I hit my 1,000, I think I was almost 8,000 hours, almost double the watch time that I needed before I got my 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah,
and I don't know if that's a representation of good or bad of my channel, but I still see that today. I get a lot more watch time in comparison to subscribers than some of the other channels.
Yeah,
that's a baseline, and that either means I'm doing really good in search, and I'm getting a lot of videos that are from search, but they're one-time video views, or people just don't want to subscribe because they don't really like looking at my mug, but they'll watch my videos once in a while. Either way, I'm good.
Yeah, no, I've been trying to find okay, so I've got right now that watch time from subscribers, how guys do this. I have 83% of people that are watching me are not subscribed to me. So that's
you should do good.
That's yeah, exactly. That's a really high number. I've got 17% who are subscribed that are watching me, but I have 83% that are not subbed to me that are watching me, which is really good. No, granted, it is really good. I just if I could just get a third of those people subscribed to my channel would be so much higher, right? So
do you want to know what my not subscribed number is? 93.9%.
Okay, yeah, you're 10% above me, right? But you also have 4,000 subscribers, so you're already going into a bigger market that YouTube is going to appeal your channel to than what I'm got. Like I'm still in a smaller little market,
right? And like I said earlier, I don't know if you were on yet, but I did a video and I did an experiment. YouTube will tell you that your channel's history has nothing to do with how well your video does.
Yeah.
They don't look at how your channel does and say, well, this video is going to do better because it's on this channel than that channel. Every video is supposed to be based on the video itself. And I took a video and put it on my personal channel, which has 20 subscribers. And it got 100 views in a day. And I put that same video the next day on my Writing in the Ozarks channel, and it got, a couple hundred views in the first hour. And they weren't from subscribers, but it's from YouTube promoting it with impressions because it was about Harley Davidson. If I do a video about Harley Davidson, it will do a lot better than if I do a video about first aid kits.
Yeah, no, it does.
You
It
know,
does. That's what I've noticed too. When I first got my bike, let's go back here. So when I first got my bike, dashboard, give me dashboard, please. So when I first got my bike back in the day, I did 2 videos. So I did things I love about my 2020 Harley Davidson Iron 1200, things I dislike about my Iron 1200, and the last 48 hours, both those videos are closing in on a year now. In the last 48 hours, the things I love has 68 views, and the things I dislike has got 39 views. And those 2 videos are always at the top of that list for my top videos. Like every time I refresh my studio page, those 2 videos are always there, and it's always in the things I love about it. It's always about roughly averages out at 70 views for every 48 hours.
Yeah, I've learned that by looking at my analytics like you are and paying attention to that, my videos that do the best, like over a long term, are videos that are about a bike or about a product.
Yeah.
That people search for. So I did. Jordan knows I did a video here a while back about the KLR 650 versus the DR 650, and I did that back in April 6th. So it's been a month and a half, and that video is still drawing 478 views in 48 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I did a video about the 1250 Revolution Max engine. It averages 400 to 500 views every 48 hours, and it's been, it's now 2 months old. The video I did on the Honda Rebel 1100 versus the Iron 1200 from back in December still gets 200 views every 48 hours.
Yeah. So, you get those videos. They just do. I'm actually going to film another one.
But they're about a motorcycle model.
Yeah.
They're about a specific motorcycle, not about a ride.
Yeah. So the next one I'm going to do, so I get the things I love, the things I dislike, and the next one I'm going to do is the things I've had to replace and warranty repair on my bike in the last year, because I've had to do a lot of that on my bike in the last year. So that video should get a lot of views too, because people
friends
will be
don't let
to
friends
know.
ride KLRs.
Yeah, because people will be.
That comes from a
know.
BMW dealer.
Yeah,
It does.
but people are going to be interested to know like what's failing on my bike and what to look out for and stuff.
Well, and the reason I was talking about this, like those videos that I've done 2, 3, 6 months ago still outrank. Like I did a video on the Harley Davidson Revival a month and a half ago. It did 18,000 views. It's done more views than those other videos I mentioned, but it did them in 2 or 3 days and then it dropped off. And now it does 50 views in 48 hours instead of 500, and that's what I say. Some things are a flash in the pan. I did a news video today. That'll be good for a couple of days, and then it'll die, and I'll never see it in my analytics again.
What is your biggest demographic when it comes to age? Right now, 25 to 34 years old, I get 67.6% watch time from that age group. That'll be under your analytics. You'll have to
I'm going there.
Yeah.
You'll probably find that my age group is much older, and I would say the difference is because your bike is actually more interested for younger riders than older.
Exactly.
My biggest demographic is 45 to 54. My second biggest demographic is 55 to 64 because I ride a Badger.
Yeah. See, mine is like 25 to 34 is 67.6. Then 35 to 44 is 22.9. And then 45 to 54 is 9.5%. And then after that, I get nothing. And above that, that's just the only 3 that it's got.
So what are your biggest geographies?
My biggest is the States at 59.3%, and then Canada at 9.8%, and then United Kingdom at 1.1%.
So I'm at 53 on the States and 6.5 on Canada and 3.5 on Australia and 3.2 on the United Kingdom and then 2 on Germany.
Yeah,
so
those ones are all zero for me.
I need more of your Canadian brothers to tune in.
Oh, don't worry, they all do. You'd be surprised at how many of my Canadian people tune in.
I know Military Biker and Diesel Hog Vlogs and those guys. I try and watch their stuff as much as I can. To be honest, I probably watch your stuff more than some of the other Canadian channels, and it's just, you know, I've watched your stuff longer, so YouTube probably recommends it more, knowing I'm going to watch it.
Yeah, exactly.
There are days that I sit down and I start going through my subscribe list and just looking for channels that have put a video out that I haven't seen yet because YouTube doesn't recommend them to me.
Yeah, a lot of times I'll start watching a lot of other stuff that's not motorcycle related. So I'll watch things on cameras. I'll watch things on old history. I love history, so I'll watch a lot of history stuff. And then all of a sudden my feed will just get filled with that stuff, and I don't see motorcycle related stuff. So then I have to click on my subscriptions tab and then start scrolling through my subscriptions and start watching, I haven't watched you in a video. Oh, that video looks interesting to me. And I have to go via that way because it just doesn't come up in my feed because of everything else that I'm watching. So YouTube just starts recommending other stuff to me, right?
So you watch your Canadian brother, Peter McKinnon?
Yes, I watch Peter all the time. Him and Matt.
Yeah.
Manny,
I watch those guys because I like to learn about photography stuff to improve my skills.
Exactly. And that's just you'd be surprised at how many Americans, how many Canadians and stuff watch Peter McKinnon. Because he's just like, what's up, everybody? Right. But he's just, he does such a good job at it. And he's just seems like a really friendly Canadian, right? Like he's your typical Canadian, I want to say. As funny as that sounds. And I know he's been out here to BC a few times because of the nice, beautiful mountains we have out here. But I'd like to meet the guy one day. It'd be kind of cool. But yeah, I've been watching him even way before he hit 100,000. Even way before I started my own channel, Road Rash, and I was still running around as Dave Surrey in the side chat and stuff. And yeah, I've been watching him for a long time now, and he's just really good at doing what he does, and very informative. He did put a video out recently of how he broke his hand. I watched 30 seconds of that video of him going over the first 30 seconds of that video, him going over on his bike and smashing his hand. I was like, well, okay, I've already seen how you did that. I have no need to watch the rest.
I didn't watch that one yet, but I saw the thumbnail, but I've been too busy this weekend to really get into it. But
yeah, like I said, you'll probably end up watching the first 30 seconds and see how it actually happened because he was on his ATV or whatnot. And you're like, okay, I've seen you do that. Don't need to watch the rest. And I seriously, I went back and started watching something else because I didn't want to, because like I said, I'm not really a fan of watching somebody go down. I don't like seeing someone go down. It's going to happen, but I don't really like watching it per se. It's like, I don't know. To me, it's just not nice to watch, right? So that's just who I am as a person. I don't like watching crash videos and stuff like that.
Right. And like I said, if you don't watch April's video, that's no harm, no foul.
Yeah, no, it's just it's got nothing to do with her. It's just like I just don't want to see someone go down, right? And
right, hers was, it was really. We took it to use it as a way to make a learning experience for other people.
Yeah, no, I agree. Right?
If nothing else, to make them aware that you're not invincible. This can happen.
No, I already know that. Like I'm very aware that when we swing our leg over a bike, now we take our life into our hands every time, and it doesn't have to be a vehicle that you. There's so many things out there, and you just have to be very aware of your riding conditions and always pay attention to your road ahead of you, and like. I went riding with the boys after work on Friday, and we're riding some farm roads, and there's all kinds of garbage all over them. I'm going off to the side, and I'm swinging my right leg out to let everybody know behind me there's garbage on the road, man. Like, pay attention to what you guys are coming up to, right? So, and I'm looking on my mirror, and I can see the bike behind me doing the same thing, swinging his leg out, and then the bike behind him doing the same thing to the fourth person behind us, right? Because there's just four of us going out, but there's a lot of times where there's gravel on the road and there was garbage on the road and stuff like that. And I was the lead guy taking everybody out. Like one of the guys at work calls me the Apache because I just know where to go. I can just find the roads that we've never ridden on, even I've never ridden on before. All of a sudden I'm finding these roads. Like, hey, this is a cool road, right? So yeah, he's nicknamed me the Apache at work. I don't know what the name of the road is. I just know I can find it.
Jordan, are you going to sleep on us? I don't know that I've ever had anybody go to sleep in the middle of a live stream before.
Yeah, I've passed out many times in a live stream.
I don't sleep worth a shit. And I started work at about 5 this morning and then been on the bike all day. chasing 4-wheelers, so I'm pretty beat. Now I got to get up at 5 a.m. and do it all again.
Well, and the Badgers wanted to say real quick, last day to register for the World Record Poker Run is May 31st. The Badgers are in the chat group. We mentioned that earlier, Badgers, and Sonny and Angie, thank you for stopping in, supporting, and telling April happy birthday. We did put a plug out for you guys earlier. Mike Bodine, who has signed up for that, was in the chat earlier. I don't know if he's still with us, but we did bring that up and mention it. But anybody who wants to go do the World Record Poker Run, supportbikers.com will get you to wherever you need to go to find all that information. And Angie and Sonny are really good people. Jordan, you want to guess where I had them go to meet us for lunch when they came to Missouri?
What part of Missouri?
They came to Rolla. So where do you think I had them meet us for lunch?
Well, probably Tater Patch.
Well, yeah, they did a video. You haven't seen it yet? The Badgers came to the Tater Patch.
Oh, but damn.
So, yeah, they did a video about that. I'll make sure I send you a link to it so you can check it out.
For sure.
Jordan Dimsey Adventures here. He's another YouTuber who actually lives here in Rolla. So, anyway, guys, I think we are going to go to bed too. We've got to get up and work tomorrow. We've got a busy week getting ready for the rally. We got 3 days of work at our jobs and then probably 4 days of working at a rally between drinking and having a good time and working our ass off.
Well, maybe next week I might be on the road. So,
is it not a holiday for you guys tomorrow?
No.
Oh, okay.
Memorial Day for us is a week from tomorrow.
Yeah, it's tomorrow. Okay, so see, that's what it kind of threw me off because I was watching Formula One racing this weekend, and it was in Monaco, and usually that falls on the Memorial Day weekend because you have Formula One in Monaco, then you got the Indy 500, and then you got the Charlotte 600, and I guess Monaco decided to do it a week early because it just kind of threw me off. It's like, well, why is Monaco?
Yeah, because the Indy 500 is usually Memorial Day weekend.
The weekend, exactly.
Yeah.
And then same with the Charlotte 600, right? The Coca-Cola 600 at Charlotte. So, yeah, that's why I'm kind of because it's our long weekend here in Canada this weekend, right? So.
Mike Bodine is still in the chat. This guy's like amazing. He's been hanging in here with us all night. He's been supporting the fundraiser we're doing, and he's doing the World Record Poker Run. So, everybody give Mike Bodine a hand. This guy's we met him at the May rally and stuff. So he's a great supporter of moto vloggers and motorcycle community and stuff. So. All right, guys, we're going to sign off. I'm going to end this thing. It's been 2 hours and 45 minutes. I think the world has had enough of us for one day. And but I appreciate you, everybody hanging out and stuff. And if you came in late, you might go back and watch the first 10 minutes because that's where we kind of talked about what's going on with the James Pax benefit. And that is a big thing that we are trying to promote and get attention and make people aware of and stuff. So little boy with cancer. So we're still pushing that. We have a benefit for that coming in about a month.
That's cool.
So, all right, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us.
All right. Thanks for having me. And happy birthday again to Firecracker.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And and as I would say in my videos, Slayer.
Later, James.
I guess I'm going to make like a tree and fuck off.
Yeah.
Is that what tree does?
That's what they do around
I'm
here.
not going riding trails with you if you're riding around trees that fuck off.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I don't know. Some of them do.
All right, 87 Rights. Hopefully you got a few new subs tonight. Windroad Therapy, thank you for coming out. Thanks for the live stream. Happy birthday again from Mike Bodine. You guys have been awesome. We love you. Again, we will probably do this. We've been doing them every other week. So every 2 weeks. So be looking for us on Sunday night. This time we started a little later. Last time we've been starting at 6:30 and we didn't get dinner beforehand. And then that was running into a problem. I'm eating pizzas at 11 o'clock at night, half drunk. So we're trying to start a little later and eat our dinner before we start drinking.
It'll be
I know that feeling.
on the
8 o'clock, 2 weeks from now.
6th.
On the 6th.
We've got to throw darts and then we'll have to rush you. We're subbing.
You know where we're going to be on June 6th?
Where?
We're going to be in Branson.
We're coming back on Sunday.
Okay, we're coming back on Sunday. So yeah,
And
we'll
we
do
gotta
it.
Throw darts
Yeah.
at
Okay, so
4,
we will
and
have
then
time to do it. We got a
8
weekend. We
o'clock.
got a weekend in Branson, Missouri, with the kids that weekend. But we'll be back by Sunday night.
Yes.
So we're going to plan it at 8 o'clock, 2 weeks from now.
Sounds good.
All right, guys. We'll try and
All
come
right,
up
man.
with some stuff to talk about or drink about on a Sunday night, whatever.
Any reason to drink?
It's-
I know I don't have to go to work tomorrow, so I don't.
Every
care.
day that ends in Y is a good reason to drink.
That's right. All right, man. Thanks for having me. We'll talk to you later.
See you guys.
See you, man.
Oh, 87 Reiser mentioned the main thing for him is Instagram, and he put his stuff in there to look for him. If anybody's still on there.
Okay.